Hello there, chat. I figured that since we're talking about the world's biggest war criminal today, I'll probably use something topical in the form of the country that has the most war crimes committed on its surface, probably in the last few decades. But yeah, it is what it is. So let me get my Fuji up actually and some music before we continue. So I'm kind of not prepared. I know I had a lot of time to do it, but you know, just lazy like that. Let's see. Fuji is up. Let's get some music going real quick. Let's see what I feel like today. Something chill maybe, because we're dealing with someone that's that has no chill. So at least we're gonna have that on the stream. Some lo-fi beats maybe. Let me look through my catalog, my vast catalog of music here. See what we land on. Let's see which one be the best. Yeah, this one is pretty chill. Let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think this is gonna be fine going forward. So you may be wondering, why this stream? Why this particular person? Well, accidentally, actually. Why accidentally? Well, I'm the sort of person that usually reads every single comment on their videos, and I sometimes encounter very weird comments on my own videos, as you probably expect, as I deal with all kinds of weird people myself. And you know, having seen him comment just recently, like not even 5 days ago, on something I posted 6 months ago, made me realize that this person has previously actually commented on my own tweets on Twitter on various matters. And I remember him from the Pikami situation as well, because he was active during the Hogwarts Legacy controversy as well. Actually quite active, probably his most active when it comes to that sort of stuff. And you know, I decided to check him out because he has a YouTube linked on his own channel. And when I decided to look into it, the only thing I saw there was mental illness and even more mental illness. And you may be wondering, why are you giving this particular guy attention? Like, it's an obvious troll. Well, I think some trolls are actually effective at what they do, but his trolling, if you can even call it that, just kind of goes beyond that. Because there's a little bit too much dedication put into this particular type of trolling, if it even is trolling, that is. Because there's way too much effort, there's way too much incoherent babbling and nonsense in there. And the level of harassment this person does to a lot of people, especially on Twitter, is just phenomenal, because they've been doing this for many years now. And I do not understand what drives them to do so. But I mean, such is the case with mental illness sometimes, I guess. You cannot really explain it in rational terms. And he wouldn't be like the only person that does this either. Because I get a lot of weird comments on my videos, I can probably imagine. And sometimes, again, these people have their own YouTube channels where they put all kinds of interesting quote-unquote stuff in there. And today's subject, a person called Vollständigen Namen. Why is he called like that? Well, let me do a little bit of autism here, a little bit of German grammar autism. Well, vollständige Name is pretty much your full name in German, but vollständigen Namen is either a singular dative version of it, of this in in German when the word goes through declension, which is pretty much changing its form to serve a particular grammatical function in the sentence. I know that's probably goes above a lot of people's heads here, but or it's a plural dative form of these, which is, you know, I don't know why he decided to name himself like that, but generally this term vollständigen Namen is used like in on some papers where like some official papers usually, where people ask you for your full name, meaning your first name and your last name. So geben Sie Ihren vollständigen Namen ein, that kind of thing. I know this loses a lot of people, and I'm probably getting way too into this, but that's his name. Why is that his name? Have no fucking idea, but we're gonna get into that as we go through this. So upon doing a little bit of digging into him, I discovered a YouTube channel which is insane. We're gonna go through some of his videos that he posted there. Most of his videos, like over 90% of them, are like clips of other VTubers, and he adds a little bit of commentary, but to the description of the videos and to the subsequent comments that he gets from other people, calling him retarded, because that's what he is. But he never gives like verbal commentary in his videos. Like there's no audio from him in these videos, so it is what it is. And I didn't know this guy has a YouTube channel, despite knowing of him for like 2 years now. Because he started his quote-unquote online career on Twitter, if that is actually his main account. I think it would be, considering it has a lot of his personal interests in there. Well, funnily enough, when he started, his Twitter account was pretty normal. He's a fan of Japanese pro wrestling, which is respectable. A respectable hobby to have. It's pretty fun to watch. I have watched a few bouts of that myself. Not a big fan of it. Like I don't even know most of the names of the wrestlers there, but you know it's pretty fun watch anyway. So he's a fan of that. That's a normal interest. He's also a fan of VTubers, like Mika Neko, like formerly Uru Harushia. And he thinks she did nothing wrong. I'm gonna go through that as we explore his Twitter account. But first things first, I have to tell you what I organized today's stream into. We have a quick glance on his YouTube account with a total of 6 subscribers. I know, pretty silly, but you know, he's at least dedicated to his very little channel. And we're gonna go look through some videos, through some of his commentary on dealings with VTubers and what he thinks about them. You'll get a few guest appearances by people like Pipkin Pippa, Kirsche Verstal, and Filion. He doesn't like these VTubers very much, to say the least. He kind of deems himself as a Pippa fan. I don't know how. Maybe he's just lying, or in his adult brain, he kind of gets to that. But who the fuck knows? We're gonna go through all of these very slowly, because there's a lot to cover in there. So let me get some stuff up and then we can look through it. Let's see. We're also going to be watching the particular clips he put on his channel, because you need a little bit of context about what he actually is mad at. Because when you actually get to his commentary, a lot of it is incoherent and very non-cohesive. Punctuation evades him. I don't know why, but it's sometimes very hard to understand what he means. Of course, if he was commenting on what I'm saying right now, he would say that I'm stupid and I don't have a brain, because that's usually half of his arguments. Let me read read you before we start a comment he left on my video from 6 months ago, where I was talking about what I was talking about here. I was talking about people trying to ruin Pippa's collaboration with Henya. That was one of those streams. Of course, you know, they made the arguments that Pippa is a Nazi, and Mr. Vollständigen Namen was there as well. And for whatever reason, 5 days ago, he decided to leave me this comment on my video from 6 months ago. So let me read that right now. LMAO, you think I watch all of your shit? I literally found you just now as I was looking for the Twitter thread. And if the stuff I write seems like nonsense to you, that's probably because you are a moron. I interact with that niche for multiple purposes. Changing your mind isn't one of them. I don't give a shit about you personally. I think you're a piece of shit. And as long as you infer that from my comments, I accurately communicated I intended to you, and I couldn't care less if you're too brain dead to understand me or just pretending to be. The one good thing I can say about you is that you don't seem to be budding, unlike the overwhelming majority that in that shit reactionary fake outrage Twitter bubble. However, that probably just comes down to the after-mentioned issues with your brain. Of course, not most of this is has no no punctuation. It's all just kind of word salad. He doesn't even capitalize his sentences, and you know, you kind of need a guide sometimes to understand what the fuck he meant. But in this particular post, he was very coherent, at least. So I give him that. He's a very funny person, as you will see in a moment. But yeah, let's take a quick look at his YouTube channel, because partially that's where most of the insanity is. That is him. Please tell me the thumbnail is bait. I'm tired of Russia's corpse being dug up. It's not really bait, because this guy is a Russia fan, and he thinks she did nothing wrong, which we'll get to. Like, Russia isn't the main topic of this, but he is a Russia fan. He thinks that Cover did her wrong. We'll get into that. You'll see. So this is his channel. Let me make that a little bit smaller. It's his channel of 6 subscribers, made way back in 2009. So this channel is old as shit, and that dates Mr. Vollständigen Namen quite a bit. Who knows how old he is right now, but I'd assume he's like someone in his 30s, probably. It's very likely he was that. So, you know, he has a history. At least a history in the fact that he made a YouTube channel quite early on, way back in 2009. But he didn't actually use it all that much until more recently. Like, I think his oldest video on his channel, like, he has 13 videos, as you can see here, is like from a year or two ago. So he only decided to be active on this particular channel very recently. And As you can probably tell, all of his videos are either Pippa clips or Kirsche clips or Filian clips. So he's that kind of person, Mr. Vollständigen Namen. But you're probably wondering, like, what the hell are those videos? Well, they're these types of videos. Pippa isn't a transphobe proof, which is an ironic statement, sarcastic statement from him. Pipkin Pippa explains her views on scammers and how she loves her viewers, which, you know, may be construed as a positive thing. Here's Pippa and her community having a fun time playing the wizard game. And there's a goblin in there, in that thumbnail. You may be wondering why he put it that way. Well, I'll explain to you his framing device for all of these videos. He tries to come off as a Pippa fan being concerned by what's happening around Pippa, but it's all just, you know, part of his tactic to make Pippa look bad and her fans as well by extension. So the first video here, Pippa and her community having a fun time playing the wizard game. I won't play this particular one, but essentially in this video, Pippa says that goblins are ugly and they probably deserve extermination. And the way this is framed by Mr. Vollständigen Namen here is that goblins are probably Jews, according to him at least, or construed as that. And he deems the reactions of Pippa's chat as being anti-Semitic. So that's his framing device for this one. Pippa and her community having a fun time playing the wizard game, with 59 views, dedicated to all Pippa clippers who apparently missed that fun little joke of hers and the many hilarious jokes in chat. Again, it's construed that whatever Pippa's chat says here is also Pippa's opinion. And the fact that Pippa says that the goblins, in this particular clip, you may look it up if you're so inclined. Like, you can just directly go to his channel and watch this. So Pippa in this clip essentially says that goblins are fucking ugly and they probably deserve extermination. So that's construed as a very likely Holocaust joke by him. He's a big Pippa fan like that. Next one. Pipkin Pippa explains her views on scammers and how she loves her viewers, and then goes on a tangent about how, in parentheses, this is his version of quotation marks here, intervenes in politics and is full of pedos while her viewers spam anti-Semitic dog whistles. So again, in this different clip from Pippa just says, you know, that very powerful people run Hollywood, and again, this is construed as anti-Semitism because chat is stupid, and of course Pippa dog whistles to them, but by saying that people in power are the ones responsible, and the people in power in this context would be Jewish people. So again, big Pippa fan. Makes sure that his Oshi is portrayed in the best light possible. This one is where it gets really, really fucking stupid, at least to me. Pipkin Pippa celebrates 250k subs with a funny meme with her chat, enjoys her hilarious emotes. So what did Mr. Vollständigen Number 2 exception with this video? Well, he thinks the meme Sneed and Feed, you know, Sneeds and Feeds, what was it? The Simpsons reference. That little joke is some kind of racist dog whistle again, or something like that. We'll read through his reasoning in just a moment. This is the explanation he left in the description of the video to the Sneed thing. It can't be racist. It's just a name. It's only funny because it's referenced to a Simpsons episode. A place called Sneed's Feeds and Seeds has a sign that says formerly Chuck's. There is a funny meme though from 4chan that uses the letters as an acronym, but that's not racist. It's just making fun of the wokes who fall for the dumbest stuff. Like, can you pretend that when you say it, you actually use it as an acronym, but for something racist, and the wokes will think that it's racist? Also, Pippa definitely doesn't know that it's slander. She never explicitly acknowledged that she was aware of the word being used. The white supremacist dog whistle. Trust me, stop pressuring me. She never did that. And don't you go looking for her explicitly saying that she's very much does know it. She definitely didn't. Also, she said she banned trolls and people who attack other people's identities. Did she ban the guy who sent that in? No? See? She doesn't know. Now stop claiming she explicitly said that she knows it, used as a white supremacist dog whistle. You glowy. I love her chat, just casually spams her KKK emote. I do sympathize with her though. She's pretty open about her private life. And from what I can tell, it's her environment that messed her up so badly. I honestly don't think she had bad intentions. She's just generally brainwashed. White supremacy is scary. I have never seen the Simpsons Sneed Feeds and Seeds be used as any kind of with any kind of connection to white supremacy. Have you, chat? Have you ever seen it? Have you ever seen anything like that? Because again, this is the first time I see such a connection being made, and it's from this guy. So again, arguments like this make me completely believe that he's insane. And you know, trolling is trolling, but this is just like genuine mental illness. I have never seen this Simpsons reference being used as some kind of racist dog whistle for a white supremacist. So I don't know how the fuck he came to those conclusions, but you know, it is what it is. Pippa is in the transphobe proof. A next clip, and here's his explanation in the description again. Just listen how many things she has to say about them, even though she knows they are non-binary. Don't mind the transphobic comments in her chat. Those aren't under her control. She bans people who attack people for their identities because she doesn't want those people in her community. She said so. What more do you need? Also ignore that she misgenders the VA throughout the entire video. If I remember right, this is Pippa talking about Palmon's English voice actor, who apparently is non-binary, and you know, Pippa probably actually didn't know that, so she just saw a woman and said, yeah, that's Palmon's voice actress, and just went on with it. And then again, he tries to tie her chat into her comments to make sure that she is seen in a bad light. Of course, all of that description in the video of his is super sarcastic, but you wouldn't know that because, again, mental illness runs deep within this person, and it just gets worse. So yeah, again, big Pippa fan. That's why he has this channel. And here's a few comments to this particular video, because the way he replies to people, and some people that actually replied to this video are also all kinds of special. She's part of the far-right pipeline. That's why she name drops and directs people towards political streamers who openly air out their shitty, uninformed opinions. And then he replies with, yeah, sadly she's a useful idiot for them. And here's him going after Kirche, because to him Kirche is like the ultimate far-right Nazi rhetoric spewing devil. This is a pretty long clip, but in it, Kirche essentially reads an article, and Mr. Vollständigen Namen construes that as transphobic because apparently a trans person is involved in this article. Twitch loves transphobia and doesn't see anything wrong with this. And here's his explanation of why he thinks this particular video is transphobic. This is from a 40-minute segment of Kirche Verstahl, a VTuber hate preacher and a close friend of Pippa Pipkin, who is totally not political. It's about a trans woman in a sorority. What has she done? Absolutely nothing, but that doesn't deter Kirche from lying about her more than just being an overall vile person. The chat is also very interesting throughout. Although I can say I recommend watching it. It's still up on Twitch, as they apparently don't see anything wrong with it. And then he links it. 4 hours in it when the segment starts, obviously. If you got an issue with what she does here, report the stream. Although I kind of doubt Twitch is gonna do anything. They're a piece of shit platform, after all, similar to YouTube. Update. February 18th, 2024. So you can see he keeps tabs on his old videos to make sure that you're in the know of what's happening with Twitch and Kirche's streams. Seems like Twitch took down the stream. Also, apparently Kirche talked about this again, doubling down on the shit she said. I guess she was angry because it got taken down. I might upload my thoughts on it. It won't be any less scuffed than this, just a clip with my thoughts in the description. She essentially used a Twitter conversation I had with someone else about whether or not she is trustworthy, using the full segment from her stream as an example of how dishonest she is, to vent about how upset she was about me by doubling down on her lies about that woman. I'd be upset, but considering how inconsequential her delusional hate campaign appears to be, she talked about me on multiple occasions, apparently calling out her Nazi shit on Twitter. It is a kind of a pet peeve of mine. Not sorry, I wasn't approached by anyone other than the one. Does he know? Which in hindsight assume might be related to it. I would lie if I said I didn't just find her reactions amusing. Anyways, I might respond to the heap of garbage she said about the instance. She also more recently talked about me, but there's not much to say about that. She threw racist dog whistles at some black creator, claiming to be asking honest questions. I called it out on stream. She then said that she felt they were doing anti-white racism. I think you are a reverse racist. It's obviously not an honest question, but honestly, why fucking bother? Nobody else seems to give a shit anyways. So, as you can see, his the way he types everything is like a stream of consciousness thing. It's all full of vagaries. It's all full of references that nobody but him would actually know. And actually me, because I looked into these situations that he's referencing here, and most of them, as you can probably figure out, are misconstrued to make Kirche look as bad as possible in these situations. So that's what he does, just types like this, and then you figure out the rest on your own. Regarding the case itself, I said that much. It's about a few women asking the state to force bylaws on a non-profit organization, which the state can't do, because choosing who you allow in your non-profit organization is protected by the First Amendment right to freedom of association. When the judge mentioned that the court would not define what a woman was, he was pretty much just mocking the fact that they wrote a 60-page essay about how they don't think trans women are women in a lawsuit about fraternity bylaw. He also has this banger of a line. I didn't know woke judges could call something bullshit in such a posh way. Given plaintiffs' dual dearth of claims against Langford and their inability to connect their allegations concerning Langford's behavior, there are 4 causes of action against the remaining defendants. The court sees no reason to recount plaintiffs' peripheral allegations against Langford. I think this is where I'll leave it at the moment. Kirche's far-right campaign in dearth in death on the wall, potentially even dual death or even child death. If you smell what I'm cooking, well, no, because no one actually knows what you're talking about here, because you just cited an article out of context, and part of it was a very long statement about something that, again, only you know, Mr. Vollständigen Namen. You need to provide links to the things you're talking about, otherwise people are just going to be confused, as I am and probably Chad is right now. He's really good at debating, someone says in chat. Well, he's debating mostly is all personal insults, as you will see from his Twitter. His tactics in debating is gaslighting you and calling you all kinds of derisive names. And again, you have to realize how he talks to other people, because people somehow noticed this particular clip that he did of Kirche, and then I imagine Kirche noticed it, and then I imagine it was posted on a particular VTuber forum, probably on the Virtual Asylum, considering Mr. Super Duper is here, and Super Duper is a well-known member of that forum, so I can imagine that was posted at some point at that time, around 6 months ago or something. So this is how Mr. Vollständigen replies to some of the people that decided to say that he's essentially an idiot. That's probably because there is nothing wrong with this. She's making a valid criticism of this article. Like what? He asks. What exactly is the issue here, except for your lousy audio levels? Because again, we didn't play this particular clip. His audio that he recorded of the clip is really, really fucking low. The transphobia is the issue. She's talking about a woman here who has done absolutely nothing and was and still is being used by activists to try to force that sorority to not accept trans women. In the 72-page complaint, now it's 72 pages from 60, apparently, only 4 were relevant to their case. None of the claims made by the 5 of the 40-plus women living in their sorority were corroborated by any of the other women, and none of the things described would ever constitute a crime in the first place. And then someone responded, "You will never be a woman. I'm a cis guy and you're pathetic." True, and the answer can be found from the 5th grade biology book. And then another description, but first we're gonna watch a short clip of what he's actually referring here in this gigantic wall of text. So before I read this, let me get that video up. This one is probably gonna be about Kirche and Filian, or a different one. Let me take a quick look which one is gonna be first, because I had them numbered in a particular order. Just give me a moment. Austrian Schizo, 12, 13, 37. I think this is this one. This one is called a Great Joke here. And there's another one. Filian enjoys neo-Nazi indoctrination story hour with Kirche, but first we're gonna play the great joke here with Tenma and Filian interacting. He had some exception to this one as well. Just give me a moment. Let me get it up.
I don't know how to play chess.
What are you really doing? Why does someone say it's a Sicilian start? What does that mean? Are you?
I don't know how to play chess.
Are you? You're gonna use Chat GPT.
What?
You
How
are
did
a
he
cheater.
use that?
You are a cheater.
What the fuck?
You're a cheater.
You're such a sore loser. I didn't even do anything. You're such a sore loser.
Thank you, you're Sicilian. I hate your pizza. And I hate your
I'm not
culture.
even Sicilian. That's so cool.
Are an effing immigrant.
I mean, I mean, Face Connect joining the human world. We are technically all immigrants.
I hate aliens. Men in Black, more like send them back.
I have to say that that is a pretty good joke.
Men in Black was fantastic. Have you seen the newest one with the girl? That was the shittiest one ever.
Have you been to the Men in Black ride? In like frick, what's
Like
it called?
an amusement park?
Yeah. It has
No,
the
I
best air
never.
conditioning in the entire park.
Oh, I would love to go. Is it still working?
Yeah, it is. You can shoot aliens.
I wanna go.
You want to kill your own kind.
Yeah, we
Oh
are
my.
racist to each other.
Is this stream sponsored by racism? Okay, whatever. Okay. What am I doing? I need to make a move.
Bidi-bop-ba-da-ba.
Why do they type base whenever you say stuff like that? This is a bad example
They
for
just
you.
got used with me because I know I'm not gonna get sponsored anytime soon.
Yeah, well now I'm not gonna get sponsored. You're making me yap. PP.
So, as you can probably figure out what he had problems here with, he construed them messing around about them being, about Tenma and Filian being weird alien creatures, and also mentioning phase invaders, which would be, aliens to Face Connect. This was all construed as a weird racist joke. And then the anti-immigration statements, send them back. He had things to say about that. By saying that he doesn't even know what to say about this one. Next one, next video, about which he had a lot to say actually this time. It's called Filian enjoys neo-Nazi indoctrination story hour with Kirsche. This one is like 2 minutes long. Hold up.
Okay, so what do you actually do on your stream normally?
I rant about current events and news, and then after about 3 or 4 hours, I finally get to play the video game I said I would play.
Wow, that sounds like my stream. What the frick? Okay, so what's the current news you heard? What's the blues news?
Currently, we have all that Sweet Baby Inc. stuff going around. I've been talking about Sweet Baby Inc. since like October last year, if not earlier.
Sweet Baby Inc?
Sweet Baby Inc. is a consultation company that game companies hire to help them make their games more diverse and equitable and inclusive.
What is equitable?
Equitable is an unfair practice where instead of giving people like equality of opportunity, they try to make the end goal that everyone is equal regardless of their ability or skill or anything like that.
Communism.
Yeah, basically.
They're commies.
Basically.
Wait, am I
And
getting
you know, commies
gaslit?
just aren't people.
Am I getting wait? What do they call this in the business? What, am I getting red pill? I'm getting indoctrinated. Okay, continue. America, freaking coming to save the mother trucking day, yeah, America. Continue.
I like how you frog jumped while you're getting indoctrinated.
I'm in a chair. I'm on my chair. Okay, Kirsten, tell me more.
Tell you more like about Sweet Baby.
About Sweet Baby Ray's. Did you know Mark Zuckerberg's an alien?
Well, I mean, is he an alien or is he a
crazy,
lizard?
but it's
Either way, it doesn't
actually
look like
true.
he's a human.
He's a Walian.
A whalian?
Yeah, a
It's
Alien.
all about stock
Oh,
funds.
so like, if he's a whalian, does that mean he's an underwater creature?
Okay, so I saw an epic show called Terraformers. It was basically racist, right?
Of course.
Okay, and so they sent roaches to Mars, and then the
Okay. So again, this is something he took exception to, and he had a lot to say about it. Hold up, I actually quit out of my my tweets before this one dropped. Just a moment. Let me get back to it real quick. So this is what he had to say about what he heard here. Let me get my audio up with the music first. Okay. It's back up. So this is his schizo ranting about what he just watched. And what you just watched, actually. So Filian is apparently just a full-blown neo-Nazi. A week ago, I have told you she's just an airhead who doesn't know what she's doing. But having looked a bit closer, I feel like there's a big issue here, so I captured it here. When she was starting to grow big as a VR streamer, she used to call up with other people in the community, but apparently she invited people in who ran around calling people slurs left and right. And when Philion was confronted about it, she refused to apologize and later went on a likely get someone in that community banned from a Twitch event. Ugh. She essentially does all the pandering and ignores anyone who criticizes her. She obviously bots. Most large streamers do. If you don't know about it, I'm not gonna elaborate here. It's outside of the scope of this post. She makes, xenophobic jokes and encourages xenophobia constantly on her streams in all types of ways. And the Kirsche collab, someone who is about as transparently not a neo-Nazi as you can probably be, while she's very actively engages in all that Gamergate 2.0 far-right hate campaign that is going on right now, is just too obvious to be ignored. You see, edit it in this video explicitly asking Kirsche to share far-right ideology with her and her audience. This reminded me of the Leafy is Here stream I watched a while back, where he had a Nick Fuentes on, which Nick Fuentes just going, no filter, here's neo-Nazi ideology, let me teach you. I do really like how he compares both of these things. Kirsche, the talking head of apparently the far-right neo-Nazis, to Nick Fuentes, a homosexual grifter who doesn't believe in fucking anything and has no beliefs of his own. But, you know, I don't know how these two are even comparable. Besides the fact that Kirsche and Filian will just explicitly fucking joking around and just, shooting the shit. But, far-right neo-Nazi dog whistles or whatever. Let's continue. This combined with the fact that she literally had the Twitch CEO on her stream, which, considering she likely had someone banned from Twitch event because they accused her of being racist, likely knowing about her racist shit, just gives me the impression that the Twitch CEO, Daniel Hitler, in quotation marks, Clancy, that's not an official title, it's just a pet name I gave him for the purpose of accuracy, as in, I think it is accurate to call him a Nazi. Clearly doesn't care about people curating hate mobs and spreading far-right propaganda on Twitch. I give him the benefit of the doubt, but this is far from the only instance where Twitch had ignored hate speech on their platform. And that feels like it got significantly worse since that guy took over. I give him the benefit of the doubt, but this is far from the only instance where Twitch had ignored hate speech on their platform. It does feel like it got significantly worse since the guy took over, and he repeats himself. If you want a distinctly disgusting example, check out Shurioka, German feminist-ish streamer. A stalker who got unbanned multiple times just to return to immediately send his viewers to harass her. I do give him that Twitch is very unfair to people. I mean, Hassan, for example, can say all kinds of vile shit and Twitch will not ban him for it. So, again, rules on Twitch aren't enforced equally, like, at all. So, he can be right in some things. Even a schizo like this, even an Austrian schizo like this can be right one time in his life. And this is one time he is right, but probably about the wrong things, I don't know who this Shurioka person is he's talking about here, but whatever. Twitch is a bot-infested neo-Nazi website, headed by a neo-Nazi who enjoys having neo-Nazi propaganda being spread on his platform, as long as it's veiled well enough for the general public to not notice. To be clear, that's not a claim about their open beliefs. I can't see their beliefs. This is my interpretation of the information I have. I don't know if they consider themselves neo-Nazis. I don't care. I'm just very certain that they are convinced of neo-Nazi ideology. So yeah, Filian, it's a Nazi, as is Kirsche, as is the CEO of Twitch. The response to people making that claim is not, no, I'm not a neo-Nazi. The response is to denounce neo-Nazi ideology, which neither of them do. The CEO platforms the spread of the AI ideology on Twitch. Filian platforms the spread of the AI ideology on her stream. And Keisha directly endorses it on hers. No wonder that shit website is dying. Edit. I don't know where the influx of people in the comments is coming from anyways. I think I should update this. So here. I haven't read anything in any of these comments that generally disputes anything I explained in the description. Like, literally nothing. Well, because it's schizo ramblings and you construing people having different opinions than you as being Nazis. Everything that I don't like, it's Nazi. A kindergartner's guide to political discourse. And aside from the 2 mess-ups that I fixed now, the description seems coherent to me. Well, to you, yeah. So I don't know what they're all going on about. Anyways, think for yourself. I'm not here telling people that they have to share my point of view. I'm here to share mine. And all that bothers you, I'd say it probably hit a nerve. And, you know, you have to see what comments people left him and how he replied to this. Because, again, everything paints a picture. As a certain Austrian, as a certain popular Austrian painted a picture, which unfortunately didn't land him a place in a prestigious art school, so does Mr. Vollständigen Namen paint a picture with his behavior and his arguments here. Get a job, he replies. Get one. Got one just last night. Tell your dad it's over and your mom says hi. Kind of, let's say she gargles hi. Apparently it's hard to speak with a mouth full of schlong. So again, his disputing his discourse, the way he discusses stuff with people is just personal insults and construing people as Nazis. But again, as you can see here, from the level of effort he puts into those descriptions and the way he does everything, I generally think he's off his fucking meds. And this is not just trolling, because trolling doesn't make you look fucking stupid. And trolling in the way where you make yourself look retarded, I don't know what gets people off on doing such things. Other than, you know, oh, I got you to interact with me. Aren't you as retarded as I am? No. No, that's not how it works. You peeing your pants in front of people and then saying, haha, got you, is not peak comedy. It's just people laughing at you. Let me read that super chat real quick. Super Iron Ball, thank you for the 5. I hope for our sakes this full name guy gets into art school. You know, I'd like to think that this is like an alternate history thing. Like, I think that this is the Adolf that traveled forwards in time and discovered VTubers. And since he still didn't manage to get into art school, he became a VTuber fan. And since, you know, he's projecting his own beliefs onto people, he calls everyone else a Nazi, while very likely being a Nazi himself, because he really wants people to suffer. As you will see later on with how he interacts on Twitter. And even in these YouTube comments, because some of that is already quite visible. Well, if you did, you wouldn't be crying over VTuber, lol. Well, you should know. KK Kona W. Let's see. There's more replies here. You generally need mental health and a therapist. Check your channel, and I'm not exaggerating. Get a therapist immediately. This is not healthy. I mean, you need to see these clips for what they are. I started looking into that niche not too long ago. Was kind of dragged into it as a pick-a-me fan. I noticed there's a dynamic. I still don't entirely understand it. But I think I got a pretty good idea what is going on. However, when I started looking into one thing, it became clear very soon. And that is, virtually nobody is talking about this. So the clips I upload are essentially a kind of very bare-boned explanation of how I feel about the thing nobody else seems to notice. I won't delete them, and I won't change them. Should I ever edit them, I only add. So when you look at other, especially older stuff, for example, much about Pippa, I wouldn't stand behind anymore. I think I didn't read what I wrote there since I uploaded it, because my perspective has changed. Oh well, he grew as a person. Say. Also, I'm not looking to grow this channel. I'm not working for YouTube. I upload this for my own reason. I don't give a shit about how YouTube wants me to use this channel. If someone has thoughts on the issues, reactionary VTuber niche, they can share them here. I don't really care if 90% of interactions are people who are upset that I apparently think their Oshi is the devil incarnate, which I don't. I need and type some angry letters. You wrote a schizoid manifesto because someone made a Simpsons reference. Stop copying and seek help. The reason why nobody is talking about it is because there's nothing here. You're just the delusional views and perception of people. You must know. Again, personal insults ad hominems. Know you. I will now watch Fillion. If you are new to her, here's some pointers. Her fanbase name is Corpophilians. You can and should refer to them as Corpo Bros. Copro Bros. To not stick out when you are there. I didn't know what he meant by that. But according to Mr. Vollständigen, I'm too stupid to understand his reasoning. I can't wrap my head around schizo ramblings. Search employment and mental help. Everyone who disagrees with me is mentally ill. Of course, little bro. Fail fish. I don't understand what kind of insults he's using here. Again, beyond my comprehension. He's operating on a level, on an intellectual level, much higher than my own. And apparently everyone else is too. Quite an interesting story you got there. What is your evidence? Nothing you said is what I saw in the clip of yours. Well, the clip is of Fillion, a not political VTuber, asking Kirsche, a neo-Nazi, to tell her about the latest reactionary harassment campaign that she partakes in. That is what the clip is about. That's why the video is titled the way it is. Description is me explaining what this clip indicates to me. Why and how should I be in the clip? Well, last I checked, the video's title would explain what's in the video usually. In this case, I didn't see anything other than just two VTubers having a laugh and joking around. I failed to see the connection, as most sane people would. I mean, I can substitute give you like 10 hours of watching Kirsche and Fillion, and hundreds of hours of education about political stuff, so I don't think I'd be able to explain why I feel confident in the accuracy of the video's title. But for basic understanding on what Kirsche current harassment campaign is complete nonsense, I suggest the YouTube channel Innuendo Studios. He has a series on Gamergate. It's 6 or 7 parts, an hour long, and explains the situation way better than I ever could. And also without being unhinged and hostile, which I can't. This shit pisses me off too much to not be opinionated about it. I'd have to pretend. Imagine if you spent these tens and hundreds of hours looking for stupid shit to cry about on getting a job instead. Why even mix politics with VTubers in the first place? These two things don't mix at all. This whole thing is a mug's game. It's pointless. Yes, getting doxxed by an actual person is bad. Getting doxxed by a cartoon fox, on the other hand, is hilarious. Again, he's referencing things that never happened. Kirsche has never doxed anybody. Or if you're going to bring up Gamergate, I need to know if you and the BreadTuber you recommended ever acknowledge that Zoe Quinn is an abuser. If you don't acknowledge that simple fact, then nothing you or the BreadTuber says can be taken in good faith. Because everything you say is built on defending an abuser and never holding them accountable. Again, I don't want to get into Gamergate shit here on this stream because it's way too complicated and it goes back a decade. God damn it. But yeah, TLDR, Zoe Quinn is an abuser that very likely drove someone to suicide. But again, that's a story you'll have to look up on your own. I don't know shit and have very little interest in knowing more about Zoe Quinn. Also, your conclusion there is kind of weird. Are you saying you can't listen to people who say things you believe are nonsense and come away from it learning something? That's such a bad approach. If I believe that, I would dismiss anything Kirsche ever said. I can listen to people say dumb shit and try to understand what they're coming from and why they believe what they believe. I don't agree with them do that. And if you can't do that, I'd say it's your loss. That's not a good approach to learning about stuff. When I turn on Kirsch's stream, I already know that virtually nothing she says is in good faith, and that I have to be critical of pretty much any claim she makes. So what? Again, a guy that has already decided everything about Kirsche in his own mind, so it's not like anyone can change his own opinion. He just wants to preach to a choir that doesn't really exist, because his channel has 6 fucking subscribers and nobody really takes him seriously. TLDR, I'm going to assume most of the people you blindly follow would never publicly acknowledge that Quinn is an abuser because their name, then their narrative crumbles. I don't really watch Kirsche, nor would I go to her for insight on things like this, but I bet you would agree that Zoe Quinn is an abuser. Actually, I remember in Windows Studios videos, why are you so angry? I'm pretty sure I left a comment explaining that I'm angry because people like him and game journalists refuse to acknowledge that Zoe is an abuser. Edit, part 4 is where I left my comments. And then he replies to them, to Tomahat in particular. Let me guess, you felt you left it on part 4 because that is whatever first popped up after some very smart Gamergate influencer told you about how hypocritical these leftists are, and you then left a comment after skipping through the video 30 seconds, right? And again, putting thoughts and even actions into people's heads. He already decided what everyone did. His version of reality is his own, and nobody can substitute it with anything else. Refusing to acknowledge Zoe Quinn as an abuser means that the rest of the video is bad faith, because it's built on lies. I don't need Gamergate influencers to tell me how hypocritical they are. As someone with the most part leftist beliefs, I could see it for myself how people that years ago stood against censorship turned around and started openly supporting it and claiming the video games cause violence and sexism. Having vaguely progressive neoliberal values isn't having, for the most part, leftist beliefs. The people who oppress you aren't going to teach you how to free yourself, or something like that. Quote comes to mind. Just because the progressive neoliberal worldview that you thought growing up is bullshit, and you notice it doesn't mean you acquired some deeper understanding of politics. You clearly didn't. Again, my beliefs are superior to your beliefs, and you're basically brainwashed. Is that TLDR on everything he says here. Here's another element of my values. If what started this harassment campaign off isn't considered harassment, some SBI person demanding some Brazilian guy's SBI streamer list and account get banned, then this campaign isn't harassment. It's holding people accountable. Accountable for what? Lies that dogshit incel Nazis spread about them? Like, the first I heard about Sweet Baby Inc. Was when I checked in on Kirsch's stream. That was before any of Baby Inc. responding to anything. What she did during that stream, great journalism, not gonna lie. She said she noticed that she found one of the employees on Twitter, and then she proceeded to show her partner. Talked about what she did during that stream, great journalism, not gonna lie. Oh, sorry, I repeated that one. Talked about how they apparently worked for Cloudflare in the past, which made her wonder if there's something going on, or something along those lines, since Cloudflare stopped providing their services to Kuri Farms a while back. How exactly is that justified in your eyes? What does she hold the random guy accountable for? For being the partner of a person who works in a place that doesn't push right-wing bullshit? Like how does working games that don't get with your dogshit worldview constitute something that should be called out? Do you think random people are somehow obligated to bend their worldview to the tiniest incel brain narrative out there just because you agree with it? They don't, and no reasonable person will ever see the way you do, no matter how much affirmation you get from sad neo-Nazi grifters like Kirsche. I wish this person was self-aware, because again, trolling has a little bit of art to it, you know. You have to fool people that you believe certain things, but this, I think this is just genuine beliefs of this guy. And going forward, there's way too much effort put into trying to push his worldviews onto other people for this to be trolling. It's way too much of what he's doing here that can only be, you know, construed as trolling. I think he's genuinely just fucked up like that. And then again, he gets explained what this whole Sweet Baby Inc. situation actually stemmed from. You know, essentially, a dude saying that a Brazilian guy should lose his Steam account because he's listing Sweet Baby Inc. involved products on his Steam on the what was it? What was that group called? I forgot. I haven't been paying that much attention to that, but essentially, there was a Steam group that listed all of the games that Sweet Baby Inc. was involved in, and funnily enough, they listed all of these games from Sweet Baby Inc.'s own webpage. So it's not like they got this information through some illicit or weird means. They just wanted to have people informed about what games Sweet Baby worked on. So that's the TLDR on that one. So let me keep reading. This whole thing started because the Brazilian made a list of Steam letting people know what games Sweet Baby worked on. That's it, and he used their website as a reference for the list, as I said. Someone at SBI got mad and told people to report the list and report the account. That's, to me, is harassment. Everyone making fun of SBI people is just a consequence of that action. Even the worst case scenario where the Brazilian man had racist or sexist reasons to make the list, none of the reasons are listed on the page. It's his right to make a list of games he wouldn't recommend. People make lists of games that have DRM on them to not buy. This is the same idea, but guess what? Every single game journalist site that reported on the incident never mentioned that it was started by one of the SBI people instigating things with a dog pile. They know that's how it started, but reporting that would make SBI people look bad. No reasonable person would make a YouTube channel trying to call out VTubers because they think they're Nazi dog whistles, but here are you. Here you are. I mean, my good faith ends here. Do you have nothing fucking better to do than this? Pretty fucking pathetic. If I were you, I would. Again, the levels of projection are immense. His projection is so huge it could cover all the visible surface of the moon at this rate. And again, he just kept on answering. And answering. The guy has a lot of time on his hands. That's a clear thing, at least. Dude, are you okay? The clip is just Fillion being Fillion. Where's your proof you are not explaining anything? Yeah, it's Fillion being Fillion, having a neo-Nazi on her stream, asking her to share her latest racist harassment campaign with her audience. Again, where is your proof? It's a 2-minute clip. I get you are slow in the head, but when you watch a 2-minute clip and then cry in the comments because you don't understand how to use your ears, eyes, brain, whatever else is apparently underdeveloped about you, and you need to come to terms with the fact that nobody can do these things for you. And it's not like people would line up to do that anyways, you annoying little shit. You need me to help with your meds. How are you gonna do that? Are you gonna shit your bed again so your mom lets you leave the basement? Lol, my guy, you need to take a break from VTubers. You need help. People are having different viewpoints than your narrow worldview does not make them a neo-Nazi. I don't need help. I'm not crusading here. No, clearly not. And you're kind of right. My input only exists in your head. They are neo-Nazis, not because they have different views than I do, but because they don't have different views than the neo-Nazis. Nah, you are making assumptions and jumping to conclusions. You have presented no evidence to back up this claim that they're neo-Nazis. Unless you proceed to say something that isn't brain dead, I'll assume that you either neither watch the clip nor read the description of the video, intentionally trolling. God damn. I watched your clip of Philian being and joking back and forth with the other VTuber. I also read your description filled with speculation and massive assumptions littered throughout. Philian was able to apparently get someone banned from Twitch event. Speculation. Philian is tied with Twitch CEO. Speculation. Twitch is littered with neo-Nazi bots. Speculation. Basically, you made up a bunch of BS. It's based off your tiny worldview. No facts. I can summarize your description down to, I don't like Philian, so she must be a neo-Nazi, and since Twitch didn't ban her, the whole website is also filled with neo-Nazi. I mean, I explain why I upload these clips. If you chose the strawman me instead, there isn't really anything I can do about that. Well, it's not a strawman. It's not making light of your arguments. It's explaining what you just did. To Philian, the Twitch CEO, and to Kirsche as well. I wouldn't necessarily say I dislike Philian, or even Kirsche for that matter. I violently dislike Twitch CEO though, not gonna lie. Yeah, because you know, people you just mildly dislike is you call neo-Nazis. That's an indication that you don't really dislike them. Which again begs the question, like, why even talk about them in the first place if you don't dislike them that much? But then again, you took clips of them just having fun and bantering jokingly as Nazi dog whistles, and that's how you construe them. But we are led to believe that you do not dislike them very much. You are projecting your weird neoliberal judgmental shit on me. I don't think people are evil and deserving of punishment, or good and deserving of praise. I think this is a pea-brained way to look at the world. Kirsche is a libertarian, LMAO. Libertarian? Whoa, good joke, man. Take your medication. If this clip proves anything, is that putting Philian's name in the title gets views. Video stats say the top 2 sources of traffic in this video are number 1, people searching for Philian enjoys neo-Nazi and Nick Fuentes. So yes, if somehow your target audience are groypers, then you should put Philian in your video title, since, as explained, she's a neo-Nazi. Duly noted, Red Menace. The fact that you mentioned Shujoka tells me I have to know about you that you defend Shujoka tells me even more about you. Mostly that you are a Shujoka simp or even a freaking journalist. Maybe even a rad left member. A rad left member? My political convictions are far left. I haven't heard any of any memberships though. Well, you know, when you're far left, you usually are construed as a radical, because being a radical is being as far left as you can be. And considering you call people you dislike neo-Nazis, yeah, you are quite the radical there. But then again, I have seen so many people do that. So maybe it's just normalized, and there's people actually worse than that, so who knows. The funny thing about the description is that how Shujoka tells other people for the content farming and pity points, 7 out of 10. Goosh. I'm not gonna even explain that. Did one of these little bottom-feeding drama channels mention this video, or why is it getting so stinky in here? Yep. Right-wing transphobic Twitter users still part of the community. I didn't know where you get the xenophobia part of anything, to be honest. She's pretty respectful with everyone, especially LGBT people. The comment section is getting stinky around the same time you started posting in it. Take your meds, take a shower, brush your teeth. I know it's very difficult because the autism makes your skin sensitive to showers or something, but I believe in you. Thanks for letting me know. I assume you're talking about Philian. Well, my previous video, great joke here, plus Kirsche collab, look at Kirsche's Twitter scroll for a minute or two, plus learning about the stuff about how Philian, got started, especially that not wanting to apologize for bringing some loony racist on a private server and then allegedly getting the person who wanted her to apologize banned from an event. Plus, the general direction of the Twitch under the new CEO is what leads me to believe she's that reactionary VTuber niche. At the very least, very comfortable around the people in it. obviously there's a lot of speculation on my end. It's not my intent to do some deep exposés here. I'm a burner account for a reason. See, at this point you'd believe that this is a troll and it's just a very dedicated one, but no. He's actually, you know, being very facetious about being a troll because he genuinely believes what he taps down here. It's just that mentally ill. Filian, I don't know about Kyusha. I didn't know anything about her. It's definitely not in that niche. I'm a long-time viewer of her since 2022, and she's very far from reactionary VTuber communities. She's closer to adult. I'm not talking about not safe for content VTuber. She's but edgy at times, but honestly, far from wanting harm to other people. At least that's how how she is on the internet. There's been a lot of wholesome instances where she has been respectful to minorities. The last one was saying Happy Ramadan and saying she respects it a lot and she doesn't care about people getting mad from it. You underestimate how perceptive that niche is. They don't need to go out there and announce that she hates black people. It's good enough for them to not denounce, especially at her size. Although her being in that strangely popular indie VTuber sphere makes very skeptical of her numbers. And then bringing on Kirsche is essentially her just signaling to that niche that they are welcome to be an ironically racist and stuff. There is this common misconceptions that racists have some high standard. They don't. They are losers who take tiny scraps of information and cling to it. That's why they love that Hogwarts BS so much. Again, this guy was very involved in the Hogwarts stuff. We're gonna see just a little bit of that. Because if I include all of his involvement, we would be sitting here for like several hours, and nobody has time for that. Honestly, you're making a lot of assumptions from a collab. She's not racist in any form, and if she was, she would be that big and wouldn't have so much friends from so different ethnicities. Stop thinking everyone is secretly evil or of being so conspirative about everything. You're being at the same level as flat earthers or anti-waxers. And then he just keeps on fucking going. I mean, I do play with the idea of making a more in-depth video of kind of video essay about the dynamic I noticed, but that's really a lot of work which I would essentially do for free, but for what purpose? They will fail eventually. I might get a handful of blissful, ignorant incels to realize they are being grifted, but it's not like my intervention is some sort of necessity for that to happen. People think for themselves all the time, with or without me. As for the same level, it's a weird claim to make. I'm not going to deny that my claims are of conspiratorial nature, but flat earth and anti-vax are disprovable. My views on Twitch/streaming culture are speculative, but they are also not set in stone, and I do not believe that there is a genuine conspiracy going in the sense of many people coming together and curating a plan of action. That's why before that you said that that Filian apparently knows the Twitch CEO and she got people banned from events and she gets away with it because she's friends with that person. That's not a conspiracy. No. That's nothing of that nature. He's not a conspiracy theorist, guys. He's just a little bit speculative here and there. He's a good boy. What I assert is something that exists: far-right propaganda in the online influencer sphere. If you doubt that it exists, in case you missed it, literally millions of people took it to the streets in Germany recently to protest the AfD, a far-right political party. That cause for demonstration was that essentially a neo-Nazi get-together was infiltrated and multiple AfD members that attended that get-together. One of the things, added the specific thing, is not why people protested, but is one of the things that was discussed at the get-together. It was discussed at the event. Was that they use online influencers to spread their ideology, specifically to target younger demographic. Anyways, my views are that entire dynamic are way too expansive to explain here. But the comparison to flat earth and anti-wax is wrong. By the way, I check none of the people I usually interact with seem to have mentioned this video. Was there some miscommunication? Who mentioned it? I'd be curious to see what they had to say. But it wasn't a lot of work to put a long-ass description in the bottom of your video. Writing down my thoughts isn't is not a lot of work. No. And here we have a description to another video that we're gonna watch, because the guy never stopped. This is a pretty decent one from April 11, 2024. So if you're here for more Schizo ramblings, yeah, you're gonna get that. So just give me a moment. Let me put that up. It's the last video. This one is called Appeal by Kirche Government to Kirche People, February 1st, 1933. So this one is 7 minutes long, and he goes full Schizo on this one. It's really something.
It's not hypocrisy to defend yourself. If somebody hits me in the face and I stab them in retaliation, I'm not at fault. I'm not a hypocrite because I used violence in defense of myself. And the amount of people who would gaslight you into believing otherwise is crazy to me. It's actually crazy. Do not let these people gaslight you. Games can have a message. Good storytelling always does. It's like, I guess I feel like I'm soapboxing, but it's like, people like these, people like that Sekai guy, they want to keep you demoralized and obfuscate what the issue is so that you lose the plot of what you're dealing with. At this point in time, if you're not noticing what's going on in gaming, with, like I said, fucking Sweet Baby Inc., Pixels, all of the game devs and the journalists circling the wagons, Enthusiast Gaming, Greywood, Eastmore, Bridge, and its entire corporate landscape takeover, you understand what these people's push is and what their goal is. Being all-encompassing submission. That's not fear-mongering. It's only fear-mongering if you've never watched what I've talked about before. If you come in on this sentence, you're just like, she's terrifying us. It's like, no. I've shown what these people said from their own fucking mouths. I'm not just spouting nonsense. It's stuff that we have watched, and it's something I want to fix. I am activate Kirsha! You don't fight back against these people by saying, I just want to be left alone, man. Because the people you are opposed with do not want to leave you alone. Not only do they want power, but they have the approval of the entire media apparatus to do so. Corporate and government funding for their actions, the approval of their own conscience tells them that they are the good person. They are on the right side of history. They are doing it for your own good. You're just a filthy bigot gamer who hates women and minorities. You don't know what's for the greater good, after all. These people subvert language to gain more useful idiots on their playing field. They will exploit the fact that you can't tell what they're...
Okay, in case you haven't noticed at this point, the title implies that Kirsche is Hitler, and she's speaking to the neo-Nazi party, to the German people. That's why the title of this video is dated February 1st, 1933.
Actually doing. They'll create false polls and measurements that say, everyone loves this! Everyone supports us! Look at how important these things are to people! All you have to do to find this out is just look at their channels, look at news articles, look at videos from the GDC, from all these interviews that the...
And again, if you need another explanation, February 1st, 1933 is when Hitler had had his first address to the people over radio, I do believe. So yeah, again, Kirsche is essentially Hitler.
These people do. They don't hide it. They directly say what they want to do. That's not fear-mongering if it's actually fucking happening. And that's where my rant that Ghost watched...
I just find it hilarious that the completely indoctrinated Austrian is calling someone else Hitler. I I find that to be the ultimate irony.
Came in. I do not want politics to be all-encompassing. Those opposed to a live and let live mentality have already made it so. I do not want to see people suffer, but if you willingly put your head in the sand and say, I don't want to stand up for myself, I will kowtow to the mob and let others fight for me, even if I don't like what's happening. I will feel no sympathy for you when the mob comes to burn down what you hold dear. Because they will, and because you welcomed their malicious takeover with open arms and a bare fucking ass. When the strong men make good times, that is when there is luxury afforded. People can choose to not be vigilant, to not pay attention to those who seek to destroy the freedom that has been built. In the good times, those people have every reason to become complacent. They're comfortable. There's no threat. They don't have to notice things. But we're not in the good times, chat. We haven't been in the good times for a long while. The weak men have made hard times. And it is high past time to fix it. The weak will try to gaslight and lie and fearmonger to you so that you don't take action, so that they can feel more comfortable with their failures. Don't let them turn you into a failure as well. If these people wish to call me a radical because I work to expose people who want to harm me, harm my hobbies and entertainment that I turn to for relaxation and fun, harm my country with their overarching ideology that does nothing but push people down and make them worse, then just know you are part of what has radicalized me. If I am hyper-partisan for opposing the cultural Marxist takeover, what else am I supposed to take from you labeling me that? Other than that you have fully absorbed the black pill and are just waiting for them to take over. Maybe for some magical boogaloo that won't actually even fucking happen after they take over. Or that you actually actively support their takeover and are trying to demoralize others and prevent them from banding together to fix the fucking issue. There is no centrist solution to cultural Marxism. If you don't defend yourself, they will win. That's not fear-mongering. That is just reality. You can't fight someone who will do anything by any means necessary to subjugate you by doing nothing. Believe your lying eyes, not their propaganda. Even if the only thing you can feasibly do is speak out, spread awareness about what they're doing, be the fucking butterfly, be the fucking pebble, whatever fucking analogy you need. When enough people know what's going on and stand up against it, that is where change is made. Eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. And freedom is not free. You must fight for your right to be left alone against those who seek to use your principles against you. It was a study that the woke left have radicalized more people to the right than by attacking them. Yeah. You agree with 75% of what I'm saying, but I keep alternating between I'm just defending myself and anyone who's not an act.
Again, literally Hitler, according to Mr. Vollständigen there. And we'll see his justification for that in this incredibly lengthy video description that he left in. A real essay, this one. Music back up, hold up. Alright. So, get ready for more autism. Keisha reading her Neo-Nancy manifesto. Again, the most libertarian worldview I've ever seen being expressed on via Kirsch's stream, and this guy construes this as a neo-Nazi manifesto. What a sad load of shit. Anyways, what is she doing there? Drama baiting? Dog whistling to her audience, especially those new eyes she got on her currently? Trying to mobilize her fan base to promote her? So many different possibilities. People, kind of a stretch, to be honest. Oh wow, we're getting into the dehumanization part of Mr. Vollständigen here. Again, this is like the ultimate comedic irony that this completely radicalized Austrian person is now dehumanizing his opponents. Like, history really likes to repeat itself, chat. And if idiots like this were to be listened to, then you'd have Hitler 2.0, Hitler 3.0, and so on and so forth. So I'm glad that Mr. Vollständigen is on a fringe that nobody actually listens to, and he just rants to nobody. So, maybe giving him attention is a bad idea, but it's still hilarious to see. And a teaching moment at that. Because you never want to get to this point where you start to dehumanize other people because they hold different views from you. Unless, they want to eat you and kill your whole family. That's pretty animalistic, but, still human in nature. Humans are just violent like that. Well, let's keep reading. Keep asking me for proof that Kirsche is a Nazi. After having heard this passionate speech, I must agree. I was hasty. I see now that Kirsche is way smarter than I realized. I stand humble, and I must admit, Kirsche has seen with her own eyes the fabric of reality. Life is a play for her, and she chose the role of shite white supremacist neo-Nazi piece of shit, which she performs so flawlessly that she is indistinguishable from the real deal. Kirsche viewers, jokes aside, her goal with the speech is obviously to mobilize people to participate in the far-right harassment campaign she's currently pushing. Be that via personally telling people about it. I love this is how you lose your job, by the way. That someone dropped it in the chat when she encouraged her viewers to tell their bosses, especially considering that some of my viewers told their bosses about DEI, obviously made up or directly. But most importantly, what you mustn't do about it, and that is nothing. And of course, it's nothing like when people were bringing up Rowling during the HL boycott because they were just complaining about pesky and problematic things like anti-Semitism and transphobia, not the real issues like cultural Marxism. For the blissfully unaware, cultural Marxism is a neo-Nazi conspiracy theory. Yeah, sure it is. It's just cultural Bolshevism. What Schittier and what Schittler and co used to fearmonger. I could probably use that term 10 times to make sure that everyone knows that I'm not doing that. Just like Kirsche, and justify violent suppression of opposition. With some additions. Marxism is about class struggle, not about culture. Whenever you hear someone generally mention cultural Marxism, you can pretty much assume that they either do not understand that those words mean and mean something else, essentially progressive neoliberalism, or a dog whistling. You hear her spout that shit on a regular basis and your reaction is, where's the proof? Then don't think some random YouTube video description is gonna fix whatever you neglect were/are subjected to. The communists are attacking, so we choice. What choice do we have? Narrative is literally how the GAP. That's a little bit too many letters there for the NSDAP. Got into power. I like how they're justifying turning Germany in a dictatorship. It's how they justified the war what Kirsche does in this clip is spread neo-Nazi rhetoric under the veil of the medium. She's anonymous. She's a niche that usually avoids politics and is very defensive when someone makes claims about a VTuber being political, and she can use her concern about the medium and as a dog whistle to propagate neo-Nazi ideology while avoiding backlash by mainstream news coverage. This is literally Hitler in 1933. Literally Hitler. Starting with the family and including all notions of honor and loyalty, nation, fatherland, culture and economy, even the eternal foundations of morals and our faith, nothing is spared by this negative, total destructive ideology. 14 years of Marxism have undermined Germany. 1 year of Bolshevism would destroy Germany. The richest and most beautiful areas of world civilization will be transformed into chaos and a heap of ruins. Even the misery of the past decade and a half could not be compared with the affliction of Europe, in whose heart the red flag of destruction had been planted. The thousands of injured, the countless death which this battle has already cost Germany may stand as a presage of disaster. Anyways, yes, Kirsche lit a neo-Nazi. Kirsche is a neo-Nazi, and no amount of botted Twitter interactions or Twitch views will ever convince me otherwise. I will add a bit of Schizo in here, a little bit, not just all of it, though. Because why not? Everything that follows is entirely speculative and unrelated to the clip. During a recent Kirsche stream, she mentioned that she has had issues with partners, work like sponsorships or something. Don't remember exactly right now. After saying questionable stuff, I found it strange how her reaction to me talking about her lying about the trans girl on Twitter was so delayed. Well, because you're a nobody and everyone thinks you're fucking insane, so nobody gives you the time of the day. Other than me, because you did so much shit that, you know, you became like a zoo attraction, like a circus sideshow. That's what you're good for right now. I remember when I uploaded that clip, I had reported that video a bit before that. Twitch didn't do anything. I don't know when, but they did take the VOD down eventually, which she casually mentions when she talked about me discussing it with someone on Shitter on her stream. I wonder if that's related. If it is, haha. And again, another series of comments he got on this one. Your entire YouTube page reads like a schizo diary. Find help. To be honest, I'm pretty sure there isn't a single person on here who told me to take my meds or similar who isn't generally brainwashed. Yeah, they are the brainwashed ones. Aside from me being blunt, I haven't heard anyone bring up a single argument that disproves anything I wrote. Because it's all schizo posting and speculation and sometimes just outright lies. And that I, despite me writing all of this shit, is stoned in a foreign language. Look at this stoner. He doesn't give a shit about social etiquette. Calls me a piece of shit just because he feels like it. Yet I'm too dim to disprove anything he says. It's not a good argument as people in the trashy reactionary VTuber niche think it is. I don't want to bother with all this shit, but nobody else does. I'm the right person to document this shit? Probably not. I do think that my approach is particularly good. No. you could say that again. Is my approach good or am I insane? Do I think other people should follow my example? Not really. I don't think I inspire anyone to emulate me, and I'm looking to do so either. I don't know if it's just a bit of self-awareness peeking through his mental illness or something. I don't know, but it sure is funny either way. If you got an issue with that, tell someone who cares. If you got something to say that isn't just complete dog shit about my personality, then say it. And if you can't articulate it, get good, bitch. The majority of Yapsbill over here. You got a PhD in being a blubbermouth? Yes, it was too stupid to get one in denial, like you did. You're not making any sense, dude. You asked me if I had a PhD in being a blubbermouth. I responded yes, and I was too stupid to get one in denial, unlike you who does have a PhD in denial, as indicated by your continuous failure to make a single argument as far as why anything I wrote on my channel, and there's probably plenty I would disagree with myself by now, is actually wrong. Denial, asserting that a true statement is not true. Thank you for the diary description. And that was his YouTube. It's really something, isn't it? And I bet it's gonna get updated if he feels like it, because people like that never quit until someone makes them quit. And considering the fact he's probably gonna see this eventually and go on another stupid rant, it's just gonna incentivize him to schizo more. But again, I think he's way too ineffective at what he does. Nobody but people like him take him seriously, and there's so very few people he interacts with. So I'm happy he's in his own like 1 or 2, 3 person bubble. But yeah, that was his YouTube channel. But we still have his Twitter to go through. There's a little bit more there, and it's gonna be faster than that, but it'll give you some indication about other things he likes or dislikes, rather, because there's very few things he does actually like. And it's there's a lot of hypocrisy there as well, which just, is a cherry on top of everything else. Hold your horses. So this is one image as we start through this that he posted on Twitter, and this is probably one of the first image I saw him post on Twitter. He made this weird let's say parody of what Kirche thinks and put it in a text bubble, making Kirche into conspiracy theorist. You see, this woman who spoke at GDC 2016 referenced this 10-point theory in a paper she wrote in 2020. People say I'm crazy, but they're just trying to gaslight me. They say I don't know what I'm talking about. Fuck those people. Just look, okay? The other guy, he kind of said communism is shit, but this unrelated person is in an unrelated paper says it. Clear as day. When I develop a game, my priority is fondling Karl Marx's balls. She literally says that. How gullible you think I am? I am not crazy. Karl Marx is in my room right now. Help! And you really want to take a person like this seriously. But let's go back to the past and when he started going schizo, because before this, his account was made in 2022, by the way, some time at the start of it. And before that, he just posted again, as I said, Japanese wrestling stuff. He liked a lot of Japanese wrestling stuff, and it looked like any other normal, not very used Twitter account that any person uses for their own, personal reasons. But then Russia got terminated from Hololive, and he started going full schizo. This is his reply to Russia's termination notice from February 24, 2022. Notice regarding termination of our contract with Uruha Russia in English and Japanese. And he replies with, yeah, sure, she definitely is a huge risk as a corporate spy. Maybe she would leak some cute new accessory next. That would be a disaster. To fire her because of the drama. You are cowards who give it to hate mobs. She did nothing and you are pathetic. So, if you want to find a reason why he went insane, this might be one of them. Well, let's speculate a bit, just as he does on his YouTube channel. So, maybe the firing of Russia just fucked his brain so much that he just decided to become a full-on hater of everybody, because again, the guy doesn't like many things. He dislikes quite a lot, though. So let's keep going through the shit that he has to say, and he goes after everybody. So moving many months into the future, September 5th, 2023, as Ref was discussing his channel getting struck because of an EDP video. And this is what Vollständigen had to reply to Rev. Also note at Team YouTube, Rev got his start on your website by uploading copyrighted anime clips, almost exclusively featuring kids or teenagers, often in explicit sexual content. This guy is a pedo, using his platform on YouTube to normalize child abuse. Seriously, just ban him. Yes, he's a Russia fan, a big one too. I didn't include most of his likes, but he has quite a bit of Russia likes in there as well. And you wouldn't guess it, but Vollständigen is also a Yuko Yurei from Idol fan. He likes Yuko Yurei, which is very weird, considering he thinks Rev is a pedo for liking lolicon. Person, if you jerk off to looking at a young-looking woman while imagining she's a kid, you're a pedo. Rev. Person says age is just a number. Also Rev. I jerk off to young-looking women while imagining they are kids. Again, I don't know where he got that from. This is again his Schizo. Yeah, Yuko Yurei. Vollständigen is a Yuko Yurei fan. You can go into his likes right now. His Twitter is right there. And you will see Yuko Yurei in it, and him being a fan. And here's someone replying to him. Yuko Yurei is a lolicon. She's adorable. One of my favorite VTubers, which according to Rev means that I'm constantly being hounded by crazed SJWs who call me a pedo. Yeah, I don't get how you can, put these two things together, call Rev a pedophile, and then like Yuko Yurei, who is a very open lolicon. Again, mental illness, and he went after me too. He's been in my comments like a few times here and there. Here's me commenting on a Shy Lily hater. I even did a video about him, and apparently he noticed that video and went on a schizo rant himself as well. It was pretty funny, I have to admit. Shy Lily's biggest fan is back, and he's madder than ever. Again, was very funny. And then he replies to me, I prefer the way they are deranged over the way you are deranged. I don't know what I'm supposed to get from that, but apparently I'm more deranged than the person I've been covering. And of course, again, everyone this guy considers to be like a weird far-right neo-Nazi gets into his crosshairs. So even Permaband or Give Me Banhammer is also a target in his mind. And this is where all of this pick-a-me shit was being brought back again and again. And here's Permaband quote tweeting Vollständigen, and Vollständigen said, well, off the top of my head, you claimed with zero evidence and with very much persistence that claimed that pick-a-me was harassed into retirement. Please share your source for that info. And Permaband responded with, mask off. No wonder you've been spending 2 days accusing me of spreading misinformation. You are not just pick-a-me was never harassed. Hogwarts Legacy boycott people. I was circles back to the kettle, doesn't it? By the way, last pick case I'm talking about pick as bullying. So again, here's Permaband showing him evidence that pick-a-me was at least harassed off the internet for a while. And here's him replying with something else. Yeah, here's another one. Since you're looking for pointers, can you point me to the source of your claims that Pika was harassed? Like her saying it, for example? Because as far as I can tell, she never did. And why do you... So why do you, if you aren't a fake news channel? Again, I could link you like tens of posts from Vollständigen about the pick-a-me situation because there's so much shit that he was involved in there. But the vast majority of him is gaslighting people and asking questions like, give me evidence why she was harassed, like give me direct quotations from pick-a-me. Otherwise, everything you post is invalid. And he's been doing that for months without end. And when people show him evidence of you know, people related to Pikami or Pikami just outright saying that she just wanted to play a fucking video game, that's not good enough for him. He just keeps on going about that. And here's him talking in German about Nazis. I could read this in German and I could read this in English just to be funny like that. But again, Google Translate for all of you that don't know German. Here's him ranting about Nazis. Shut your mouth. Nobody cares if you're taking your meds. Don't take them. Spend a day on the roof and think about what you're doing with your life. And when the light goes on in your head, take a shortcut next to the gutter. You pathetic Nazi pig. Or Nazi-Schwein, if you want to speak in German. But he types the same way in German that he types in English. So again, quite accurate. Google Translate being quite good at translating the German into English. Again, we're just going through like posts that he had about random stuff to just see how he fucking interacts with people. Here's them talking about Pippa again, because why not? I see you're very young. Let me tell you something. It doesn't just apply here. It applies everywhere. Having an excuse for something is not the same as having reasons for something. Nobody has to buy a random excuse you can come up with just because you have a plausible. I don't think being political means what you think it means. Laughing at general edginess doesn't make a political streamer. It's just I'll just agree to disagree and leave it at that. And I don't think Sneed means what you think it means. Take your meds. Make it 10 doses. You're being schizophrenic. The video posted was not political. Sneed posting is not political. You need to take your meds. Again, if you remember him. If you remember him saying things about the Sneed video in Pippa, he just keeps on going about that. He thinks Sneed is some kind of weird racist dog whistle. And I don't know how he construed it as that. Again, I guess I'm just too stupid to understand his next level logic there. Yeah, she doesn't have any political leanings. I have a feeling he just watched that one clip compilation. Also, I watched tens of hours of Pippa. Her stream is political. It's overtly so. Anyone who has the slightest understanding of politics, her streams are political. There is no question about it. Her streams are not political and you just take your meds. Can you explain the joke in that video in a non-political way? Or what Sneed means? The video is an edit of whole life characters in a school shooter setting. For shock factor. Not really a political thing, just edgy thing, and just a reminder. It was a viewer submitted clip, not something people pulled on herself. I should show you that video. Is that video online? I'm gonna do a short detour because that video is kind of funny in an edgy way. Let me try to find it real quick. Would it be available still? This is Gura Amelia Columbine. I don't think I will find it in such a way. But by the way, it's like a bait and switch video that shows Gura and Amelia Chibis being portrayed as the Columbine shooters in the end of it, and people laughed at that because it was edgy. Can't find it at the moment, but if you ever saw that Pippa stream, you probably know what I'm talking about. Maybe you can find this particular tweet and play this clip to see what I mean. But yeah, this is essentially what it was. And he had a problem with that too, with calling it political. Here's that infamous, or rather famous. It was infamous to people that are terminally online. The mega Pippa, Henya, and Tenma collab from October of last year. Hey, you probably don't want to associate with Pippa. She has a history of making anti-Semitic jokes, like actually having a chat say, "Oh, they," after she says, "What if I told you there was a group of people who ran everything?" Even as a joke, it's a Nazi dog whistle from 4chan. If you don't like Pippa, then don't watch the collab. Simple. And here's Vollständig, and again, he has to insert him into every single discussion. I like Pippa, and I still think this collab is a bad idea. Yeah, he likes Pippa. That's why he construes her as a neo-Nazi every moment of his of him talking about her. What is your issue with someone pointing out that Pippa has far-right political beliefs? If she wants to not be political, then she always has the option of not pandering to certain demographic. Doing that is her choice. If you think she has far-right beliefs, you clearly don't watch her. And again, every single person he construes as being some weird far-right activist, like Kaguya Stop Girl, another popular Twitter account, he just goes on and insults her. Sub, Baka Shinji. Dub, you're a frail male, Shinji, and an incel. I don't think I feel offended because I'm a fragile incel. Is an indicator of where or not a sub is a good or not. Completely misunderstanding what the point here was. That calling someone stupid versus calling someone a male with a fragile ego. But again, Vollständiger has his own worldviews that are unshakable. And here's someone replied to him. This is also the deleted post of him. One of the few deleted posts by him. What was embarrassing by that? Well, people found his likes. Imagine using inceldom unironically. His likes makes it even a bigger punchline. LOL. And yes, he's that kind of simp too. He likes Twitch thoughts, by the way. He's a big fan. And considering people found that out, and he called others incel, he got a little bit embarrassed and deleted one of his posts in a very rare showing of shame, I guess. So that's another thing you have to understand and know about Mr. Vollständigen, is that he's a huge simp for e-thoughts. And here's someone replying to him in German about some unrelated thing to VTubers. Junge, blamier dich hier nicht und halt die Schnauze. Essentially, kid, stop embarrassing yourself here and essentially shut your mouth. And Vollständigen replied, Deutsche Nazis sind am grindigsten, not gonna lie. Bei uns war Hitler ein Bauer. Ihr habt ihn zum Führer gemacht. Und für dich ist er's immer noch. Was redest du von blamieren? War der Kopf so schwer im Gesichteunterricht? Essentially, let me give you a TLDR of that. He said that Hitler, with his people, meaning with Austrians, he was a builder, but the Germans made him into a Führer. So he's essentially blaming Germans for making Hitler into the Führer, which again shows to you where Vollständigen is from. He's an Austrian, and he essentially blames Hitler on the Germans, not on the Austrians, and says that this other person didn't essentially pay attention in history class. And yeah, that's what it is. And then Permaband kind of dragged him a little bit for this comment. Far-right Jama V-Twitter crying about culture is hilarious. Hey, my lying sack of shit. Here's some Orientalism for funds, you dirty Westerner. You disagree with me, you're far right. You must be an American hillbilly because your English is too good to be an Asian. So, anti-racist. This is essentially foreigners are funny. Insults are nothing of substance. Again, ironic that one simply for a glorified softcore e-girl is shouting incel. I've read you spout far-right nonsense for months here. I don't even think the people who agree with you believe you aren't. Who are you even pretending for? Everyone knows. It's obvious. And here's him going after Folsai for whatever reason. Just again, he just goes full bore, like going ham on people. Just shut the fuck up, pedo. Again, this is the level of discourse that Vollständigen offers sometimes on Twitter. I don't know how he hasn't been banned by anything yet. He just harasses people left and right. And here's him defending Mikaneko, because Mikaneko is, again, one of his favorite VTubers that did nothing wrong. The way her only defend herself is, yes, I did that, however, shut up. You have no way to defend yourself after throwing you out a shitty apology and trying to act like a good person. You're not a good person. The worst person are the people who still love you after this. This was in reply about the when the Mafu Mafu thing came out, and essentially he explained that he's been abused by her. And Vollständigen, being the true honest fan that he is, just says, "Shut the fuck up, loser." And again, defending Mikaneko with more people. It's going after her. I hate how people in the comments are still supporting her. We don't care what you say or what you'll do. Your career is over, and the only people that support you are stupid little idiots that keep on thinking that you have a chance to fix you and to be with you. I hate how you project whatever issues you have on a random woman on the intern. How fucking sad. You can kind of tell he was very upset about this comment. To the point where he wrote internet wrong. And if you didn't know by now, just by what was in his YouTube channel, he goes after Kirsche every chance he gets as well. Here's Kirsche talking about the Black VTuber Awards. I have several honest questions. I often hear this discourse about model skin tones versus pilot. Will the awards be based on the model's skin color of the pilot's skin color? If pilot, how do you verify? Would this be self-ID based? And here's a person I currently have in my chat replying to that, Azahara. Gonna nominate you to see if you win something. And here's Vollständigen replying, thanks for the screenshots. I'll save it for next time you your shit niche cries about harassment. And here's one of the few instances that Kirsche actually decides to reply to this Schizo. Dear Schizo, can't have enough of the fox mask. Asking genuine questions is not harassment. Someone making a joke under my post at me of the joke that Tim Pool thinks all VTubers are large black men is not harassment. Please raise your IQ and then try anteing again. And here's a rare interaction between Cure, who might not be a spooky, a harasser of VTuber women. And here's a rare interaction between him and Vollständigen. Like two peas in a pod, to be honest. She shows me on stream, but never replies unless I'm trolling because she can't debate. But she needs to look good for her audience, so the best she can do is pretend that whatever I say is crazy. I hope they nod along like good little fans. Imagine if she could actually debate. And then Vollständigen replied with, but when she does, it's fire. The funniest part is that she keeps talking about how they apparently totally hate her and are awful people. And here's a clip of what he thinks is what he says there, essentially. Here's Kirsche commenting about the Uki quote-unquote jokes thing. Fun supercut of every time Uki Violetta was weird about white people. This pattern definitely makes it feel like not so subtle racism. I doubt he makes these kinds of jokes about other races. And here's Kuri again, replying to him, lol, copying Matt Walsh or any other DW pundit doesn't count as debating in my mind, but it's so fun to watch. Of course not. It was not a debate. It's from a class of 09 dev podcast. She went in thinking they were far right because she didn't get the game was social critique, and then kind of pretended to be slightly conservative centrist. It was indeed fun to listen to. I've never actually seen that stream of Kirsch's, but considering Vollständigen is putting it in such a perspective, I completely believe he's wrong about everything he said here, because he likes to portray Kirche and anything she's related to as this weird far-right thing. So I'm imagining he's just lying about this, or quote-unquote misunderstanding what was happening during that stream. But again, I don't know. I haven't seen that one. Here's him just throwing out random comments about Rev's Desu, because why the fuck not? Rev stands remind me of people 20 years back arguing about pictures of kids I see through clothes being art, and being into that shit doesn't mean they are pedos. Actually, thinking about it, I'm pretty sure they used the watering down argument the other person here, who's definitely only into fictional body types like you, used verbatim. Don't call them pedos, it's just like pin-up art, don't water down the term. It's bullshit. And then more complaining about Kirsche. That's always topical. People called me crazy for pointing out Sweet Baby when Alan Woke dropped, and couldn't understand how I thought the game was infected by propaganda. I'm glad everyone is picking up how awful this company is. Don't support devs who employ Sweet Baby. Why is company whose sole purpose is spreading their agenda uses a name like Sweet Baby? With Baby Heart Candy as a logo? Are they pedo circle or something like this? Based in California? Don't know, but seeing this seems to be a harassment campaign by dogshit Nazis like Kirche. Can only hope that they're trying to be metaphorically indicate willingness to bash in the heads of baby-brained fascist scum. Again, more replying to Kirche. What's your biggest impact on the VTuber community? I'm a shadow government of influence that you've never heard of. Did you Oshi play Class of 09? Or Andy and Lele? Do you want to be the next big indie thing, kiddo? There is a white fox you have to find. You probably never heard of her. And it's by design. I won't be surprised if that's what the game devs consider the deep lore of marketing. And here's him replying, you probably never heard of her unless you're a Nazi or a bot. Also, do not forget these vile people are running defense for wicked people that drove a developer to commit suicide. And never forget Alek Holovka by using same tactics. Shut the fuck up! Nobody cares you said Nazi insult shit. I like how he just doesn't try at many points during his commentary. He just, you know, throws out insults left and right. Like the unhinged cretin that he is. Again, more replying to Kirsche. Very topical. This woman doesn't think you can be racist to white people. Try to put blame on kiwi farmers somehow. You've been talking about SBI since the last October of last year. Runs defense for those at Sweet Baby. Do not get gaslit by these people. Do not relent. Here's him replying with, personally, I just like the idea that after all of these years you wasted trying, you just decided to commit career Sudoku for an absolutely inconsequential harassment campaign, while apparently thinking that you are doing something smart. I'm glad you decided to die on that hill, thinking that Kirsche's career is over now that she decided to be anti-Sweet Baby Inc. Here's a funny thing. A user called Vlesh commented on what Kirsche said there about Sweet Baby, saying this: it's one of those who can seem to understand that racism, discrimination against anyone based on race alone. There is no exceptions, and Vollständigen, being the smart individual that he is, decided to say "shut the fuck up," Ciesler, for which he got reprimanded by Twitter with visibility limitation, because you can't say slurs on Twitter. He didn't get banned though, weirdly enough, for all of his harassment of other people, just constant. Months without end. What you see here from these few Twitter posts that I'm showing you here, it's just the tip of the iceberg. Like, he's been like going after people like almost day after day. He always either has some weird comment about Nazis to make, or just outright insults you with shit. He's that fucking mental. Here's him commenting about a thing that I believe was happening in Austria. Again, explaining to you why I think he's Austrian, other than the fact that he called a German person like you guys, so he's either from a different German-speaking country. It could be Switzerland, could be Austria, but considering he's replying to an account that's commenting what's happening in Austria, I quite believe that he's Austrian himself. And here's him commenting about ultra nationalists and about Zionists, because that's that's the next big thing to comment about for anyone anywhere in the world right now. Again, more Rev says Desu hate here. I'm starting to think that she lied about deleting Twitter. Rev, thank you for commenting on her and a couple others like her. Not only should they be held accountable for the awful things they say about others, also give me a chance to block them myself without seeking them out. And here's him, here's Vollständigen going on a long insulting rant about a person there. I'm a little piece of shit and project my own insecurity on other people. When I do that and get confronted by reality, I shrivel like the little pathetic incel shit I am. So thank you, Ref, for affirming that actually reality is wrong and I am not shit. I'm the shit. You. Why is he like this, chat? Why doesn't he understand that he's the biggest projector in the universe when he says that? But yeah, again, very mad. Very upsetting. And he doesn't like Falsai. Here's someone commenting on Ladi and Falsai featuring this particular VTuber in their news showcase. And he has this to say: "Welcome to the Nazi club. Fuck off." And he even went after internet historian, underlaid and punctual as ever, new incognito. But he copied video. Nobody cares, LMAO. This is a reference to that H-Bomber guy video about internet historian, and that he apparently plagiarized something for his YouTube video. And Vollständigen said this about him: "Of course I lead your shit, you." Sometimes he doesn't even go after the people directly that he hates. He just goes after fans. I don't know, maybe because he's too scared to go after the people he dislikes directly. Who knows? Again, when Kyusha is mentioned, Vollständigen is always nearby. White-haired VTuber furries are my favorite. Billion is pretty great. No, she's a Nazi garbage. You can tell by her bringing on Kirche. And he, of course, went after grooms as well. Week 2 of Sweet by Being, and not one reporter of the dozen articles has cited the real and actual racist and homophobic remarks of SBI employees, not SBI's harassment of gamer and subsequent ban. The Verge, Kotaku, PC Gamer defend and run smoke screens for actual racists. Are you gonna shut the fuck up at some point, you pathetic Nazi shithole? Again, excellent discussion points there. He really makes a good point. Reminder that Funny Fox Lady is the equivalent of VTuber Alex Jones. She warned everyone and they dismissed her. And look who's laughing now. Alex Jones laughing, linking to a Wikipedia excerpt of him going bankrupt. And apparently that has jack all shit to do with Kirsche. It's just a rib on Alex Jones for whatever. Just show me evidence of said harassment from them. The only evidence of harassment has come from Sweet by Being. Yeah, Sweet by Being employee who still works for them, and a journalist who says you can't be racist against white people. Also, we'll just leave this here. And then he's linking into an article about the myth of reverse racism, which essentially is a leftoid article that says that you can't be racist against white people because power structures and the racism is systematic. You know, the same talking points, as if that's supposed to prove anything. He again, vollständigen, based on that C-slur comment you saw just a moment ago. He doesn't think he can be racist to white people. Here's Kirsche talking about cultural Marxism, and here's that image that he made that I showed you at the beginning of this, where he misconstrues and portrays Kirsche as a conspiracy theorist and says, "Great stream," in a sarcastic manner. You know, I'm just gonna read all of his replies up to this point because there's so many, and he just goes on and on and on and on about all of this. According to journalists, they are target of the harassment campaign. According to devs, according to random people in the industry, according to gamers who aren't pathetic little insults, according to pretty much everyone who doesn't participate in the harassment campaign. He's always and everywhere. And here's him calling Azehara an incel for whatever fucking reason. And it's always the same shit regurgitated everywhere. Here's him going after Rev, calling him a Nazi. Shut the fuck up, Nazi shit. He even decided to chime in when the whole Bao situation was happening and people were calling her fatphobic and shit for the for this model. She pokes fun at overeating and heart disease on the song lyrics, but that's fair because being overweight is unhealthy and should be discouraged. The person outraged by all of this has medical conditions and shouldn't be applicable to them at all. Being a pathetic piece of shit Nazi should be discouraged as well. Yet here you are. And again, it's just going on and on about all of this, calling people Nazis left and right. Just commenting on almost every single person he thinks to be some kind of far-right talking head. Here's him going after a guy commenting about Daryl Davis and him radicalizing Ku Klux Klan members. That's 45 years ago and the KKK is still around. I get that you are more uneducated, says so next to your name. Not sure when I was going with this anyway. Fuck off, Nazi scum. Yeah, he hurt himself in confusion. Not sure where I was going with this anyways. Fuck off, Nazi scum. Again, very mad about everything. Continuously replies to people he thinks they are Nazis. And without reading any of this, because it's the same shit over and over again, he just goes on about this like for months and days. I'm really bored of this, like over and over again. And then Azahar actually blocked him. I think you did, at least, because he went after you quite a bit. Shut the fuck, you piece of shit Nazi pig. To everything. Like, all of his well-construed, constructed arguments. I am paid by MSNBC to tell you that you are dogshit stalker and should work on becoming a Minecraft pro in real life. He really hates people. I don't know how there can be so much vitriol in one person's heart. And then he said something quite uncharacteristic. I am gonna read all of this one. What's up, guys? Good evening and happy Easter Day. I think now is a good time to emphasize how much I want to provide support to the content creators out there. By forming a strong front together, will be reach important goals for a worldwide gaming community. What's the meaning of DEI? Greetings from Peru, bro. It means Ensler. I don't know. I don't know how he came to this conclusion. I think he just got fed up and decided to throw slurs around for whatever reason. He remembered what happened last time he said the C slur. So now when he decided to call some well, not call him an N-word, but explain to somebody what the other person in the post means by saying the N-word, he at least censored it out. How very progressive of him. And then him commenting a little bit more on what's happening in Austria. I shit on Austria. I shit on the Volkspartei, which is the social party, or rather the socialist party. I shit on your Leutkultur. I don't know what that means in context. I shit on Nehammer. Shits on everything, essentially. I imagine the ÖVP is some party in Österreich, in Austria. I'm not familiar with fucking Austrian political parties, so I don't know, but he's invested in that too. Let's read that one in full. The little fight you have always going to be targeted and belittled because it's the industry. Articles on how you're the problem for things like basic pattern recognition and making consumer-based choices. Because the industry demands its gravy train to stay on the tracks. Did you consider using the basic pattern recognition why people who have nothing to do with the industry call you a piece of shit when you rally against minorities? Again, this is about the sweet by being shit. Because if you're against sweet by being, you hate women and you rally against minorities. You're also racist. Him going after Kircher again. Oh god, Kircher, he was thinking you're just some pathetic far-right chump grifting sad incels. But as it turns out, you're actually a true journalist and you found that someone has political beliefs that differ from yours. Hate to admit it, but you are a genius. Very sarcastic, very sarcasm-laden. LOL, you need mental help. I saw I say for you to stop being a creep, and you think that, yeah, I can put you back on the block list till you get a grip, creep. I'm neither creeping nor am I harassing anyone. No, no, you aren't. You just call people Nazis left and right, call them slurs, and constantly go after them. That's not harassment. When someone lies about others, it's not harassment to call it out. Also, Rowling is not a woman. She's a heap of shit. Enjoy weaseling out around so you can keep responding in random threads I post in. Here, see more. Mono für alle. September 11. I don't know what this is in a reference to. Is that like a song or something? I don't know. There's some German references I do not know. I'm not bothering to read your shit. I don't give a fuck if you spam shit at me. The idea that some random stalker follows up all my posts with a schizo bullshit is funny to me. Especially knowing that whoever I argue with is gonna have to read it. Well, I don't. See, these are these types of posts where I think he's actually trolling, but again, from my perspective, the guy puts way too much effort into all of this for this to just be trolling. I really think he's just that invested, and Russia getting fired from Hololive just broke his mind, and all of this just spilled out. So, if you want to blame Russia for another thing, is essentially creating this guy, radicalizing him. You got unbanned. You know, I had blocked you for like 2 days, like half a year ago, right? Because you wouldn't shut the fuck up and reply to everything I wrote while I was talking to other people, and told you repeatedly that I would do that if you wouldn't get a fucking grip. I had you blocked for almost a year till I heard you were stalking and harassing people again and replying to everyone on your sock account. Get a fucking grip and do better and stop harassing women, creep. He's a dude. Yeah, stop harassing them as well. What about you being a creep did you miss? Stop intervening when I beat my wife, you sexist, you. Like, how does this even reply to this random person he's talking to? Here's him going after me again, as I call out Aurora for being, pretty much a grifting piece of shit that capitalizes on Silverface misery. That's a whole other story you can go and check out. And here's him noticing that I actually got unsuspended on Twitter. Oh no, trash can loser got unbanned again. Please, in real life ban. Is getting banned in real life meaning that he wants me to be dead? I don't know. I don't know any other ways to be banned from real life. I'm thinking very hard about them, but I can't figure anything out. Again, I'm too stupid for him to understand. Again, going after shit that's related to Kirsche, I don't even want to read this anymore because it's the same argument all over. Here's Kirsche getting blocked by Ducky because Ducky decided to have less spine than usual and just block people for calling him stupid. Here's him commenting on the Hogwarts Legacy thing. The hog-leg situation equals fake outrage by pathetic reactionary insults. It's funny he calls people incels and reactionaries where everything he does is complete reactionary bullshit to the point where he just insults people left and right. But the other people are reactionary, not him. Going after Kirsche again, which makes me believe that he's probably her biggest fan at this point. POV, you are a paranoid foxwoman setting a false flag to trick the globalists who are totally after you. I'm just kind of shaking my head at this point. Here's him insulting Grums. You're a pathetic shit stain. Again, this person doesn't harass anybody. He's just calling out people. This is not harassment. I don't fucking get how Twitter just keeps him around. Maybe he's so irrelevant that Twitter just doesn't notice him. Again, going after grooms. Who the fuck is that pedo-looking garbage person? Here's him insinuating someone is a white supremacist. Which would be Rev at this point. What the fuck is a Western man? I know which way it will be for your audience, though. After Kuri again. I'm not even reading this at this point. I'm already so annoyed by all of this shit. And even when Kuri says that she, you know, ate a fucking a cheesesteak sandwich, he always decided to he also decided to shit talk about that too. Same shit, really, not gonna lie. The incredible tweets of Paul Joseph Watson. Again, I don't know how the fuck is that even relevant to Kuri posting a fucking cheesesteak sandwich. I don't know. I'm just getting very annoyed, and I'm glad that the last screenshot is the last one. Like, he doesn't really make many posts on his own other than replies to other people, but here's like one tweet that he decided to make in March of this year. Since I know weirdos from the PDF lolly niche occasionally click on me, here's Steve and now get the fuck out. These donuts are great. Jelly-filled are my favorite. This is Brock, a 50-year-old Shoda from the Pokemon franchise. He's seen here with a box of jelly-filled donuts. An obvious innuendo that shows how localizers are pushing their woke narrative. Some weird people claim that it's actually holding a box of rice balls in an attempt to destroy anime. This is not a box of rice balls. Nice try, tourists, but you actually outed yourself. This is just a picture of rice balls. Does not look like that, and there aren't any real rice balls involved in the production. This is what a real tray of rice balls looks like. But those people are so far removed from reality. Look at the picture of Brock, a Shoda-con, which they pretend to hate, holding a tray of jelly-filled cream donuts, and go, wow, I can't believe Brock, my favorite anime character of all time, ever is a real and holds an actual tray of rice balls. I cannot unravel the point he is trying to make in this series of sentences. I don't know. He misconstrues what a Shoda is, what a Shoda-con is, what the point of mocking rice balls being presented as jelly donuts are. It's all meshed together in his mind to make some sort of coherent point about lolicon pedophiles, because that's what he started his post about. If you have some kind of PhD in critical analysis of people's minds, like some kind of psychological degree, maybe you can unravel this, because I cannot. For the love of me, I don't fucking know what he tried to say here. His mind works in a different dimension. He's so far removed from our physical reality that what he wrote here makes absolute sense to him. And I'm gonna end on that. This was the history of Mr. Vollständigen Namen, a very disgruntled Austrian who I believe is Hitler from an alternate dimension that traveled into the future and became a VTuber fan. But when his favorite VTuber got fired by Hololive, essentially the same thing happened that happened to Hitler when he didn't get into art school. And he went crazy and decided to become a harasser of people on Twitter, because nobody sane would listen to Hitler. nowadays. At least I'd like to believe that to be the case. But then again, I've seen so many insane people on Twitter and other social media that I'm starting to worry. Because all of these pro-Palestine movements are if you've seen what some of the people say with watermelon profiles and Palestine flags in their bios, you see a lot of actual neo-Nazi rhetoric being regurgitated there. So I am worried. I am worried about people getting radicalized online. But when it comes to Mr. Vollständigen here, I don't think there's much else he can be radicalized on. He's already like as far left as you can get, to the point where he's insane and makes posts like this about jelly-filled donuts and rice balls. Again, he tried to make some sort of point, and in his mind it probably worked, but when it came down to this, it only worked in his mind alone. I don't know what else to say. This was like a small look into an insane person's mind. If you think this is trolling, then you're free to think that, but I personally think that this is just an insane person. He probably doesn't take any meds. If he did take some sort of meds for his psychoactive condition, he probably wouldn't behave the way he does, and I would never make a stream about him because there would be nothing to talk about, because he wouldn't be online talking shit like this. And again, it's very easy to ignore people like that, but when they have so much shit that they did over like years, it just becomes, content. You just present a weirdo and point and laugh. Because what else can you do with that? Do you actually discuss things with him? You don't, because he'll call you indoctrinated. He'll call you brainwashed, and say that you're projecting your views onto him, whereas he's projecting himself onto like every single thing that he always talks about. Just my brain is tired, chat. I don't know what else to say about him. He sucked out all of my IQ. I am left with double digits, slowly getting into singular digits, and I don't know at what IQ you start becoming incoherent to the point where you slur your speech and just talk in grunts. Like, I remember that in Fallout, when your intelligence is like super low, like 1 point, like original Fallout 1 and 2, if your intelligence is very low, you speak like a retarded dummy. And I'm slowly getting to that point the more I read his posts. I'm glad I didn't take more screenshots of this, because it wouldn't end very well for me, unfortunately. I still want to watch some fucking videos, chat. I want to do those Twitch streams, but things just kept getting in my fucking way. If it's not the next Niji Sanji drama, it's just something else stupid that's happening online. Before I end the stream, because we have like, let's go for another like, I don't know, 16 minutes. I'll just talk about interesting things I saw online to get my brain power back. So what would be better than talking about other stupid shit I noticed recently online? Like the latest Niji Sanji thing, with Mika talking about her experience with Niji Sanji and taxes. Too long didn't read on that one. She thought that Niji Sanji will take care of her income taxes, of the taxes, you know, of the money, of the income she gets from Nijisanji, and will just do it for her, pay her taxes. But instead, Nijisanji decided to pay their own fucking taxes. And you know, if true, if that is what it actually was, Nijisanji has committed fucking tax fraud. So another thing on any color's fucking plate, and isn't that fucking fantastic? Almost leading people to suicide, and now tax fraud. Not to mention all the other things I covered in the past about them, like you remember that whole fucking tier list I did. And I think I should do another tier list stream at some point. Let's just update that one. Because so much shit has happened with Nijisanji since the time I did that stream. It kind of warrants it at this point. But I don't know when that's actually going to happen. I'm not sure. I really do want to watch those new... well, at this point they aren't new anymore because so much time has passed. That video about the world's worst VTuber hyperbolic statement, I know. And I want that one to be like the first Twitch stream. And we'll do that. Like this time around, 100% we're doing that next week. I don't know if it's going to be on Saturday or on Friday or some day before that. It all depends if I have the time to do so. But I really want to watch that video because reading these tweets on and on is getting a little bit tiresome. I need some variety for myself as well. So we're going to be doing that next week. But going back to interesting things I have actually seen online recently. I commented about this on my private account, but the bear thing with women and now feminists talking about that they would rather be in the woods with a wild bear than a man, and people, other women actually taking that seriously is fucking funny to me. That some people out there would be so insane to think that they would be safer with a fucking wild bear in the wild, in the fucking woods, than with like any random male. And again, people take that argument seriously. Like there's videos about this. There's even an article. I don't know if the article and that event happened before this narrative got popularized online or not, but there's a funny article out there with 2 women going out on some sort of trail, like hiking or something, and then they meet a bear. And one of these women thought the bear was just trying to be friendly with them instead of eat them. And she got mauled by him, like she got bitten by the bear. She survived that attack, but what the fuck is up with women and thinking bears are friendly? Like, this seems to be like an emerging pattern of behavior. Because I know there's a TikTok video that fired up this whole movement of women not being afraid of bears. Like, is this I don't know, is this like is this a cultural thing or is this a genetic thing for women? Have women at some point in the evolution of humankind been friendly with bears to the point where bears weren't considered an enemy to human females? I want to understand. Did women and bears have some sort of alliance in the past, like in human history? Were there like tribes of women riding on bears into battle? Because this sentiment is shared by way too many women, and I like to understand this. Like, why did this is this happening? Is this like mass delusion, hypnosis? What is this? What is this narrative being constructed online? I'd like to understand this. It's so stupid. There's like anti-feminist commentators making videos about this. Like Sargon of Akkad has made a video about women not being afraid of bears. Like political pundits, political commentators don't have any more content to talk about other than talk about women not being afraid of bears. But I made my own commentary about that, like with a singular tweet. I said this, like to a tweet that essentially got botted because it has 321,000 fucking likes on it and 42 fucking thousand retweets with which is essentially, hold up, I need to show you. It's can I actually link this properly? No, I can't link the URL, but I can link the image probably. Hold up. No, it's still a URL. Let me finagle this. I have to internet properly. Hold up. I'm just gonna screenshot it and paste the screenshot as is. And just drag it into OBS. Like, there's a lot of memes going on about this. Some are pro-bear and some are anti-bear. And most of them are hilarious for all the fucking wrong fucking reasons. Let me try to find it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Come on. See this one. Like this a tweet with this image has again, how many? 42,000 retweets and 321,000 likes. This has to be fucking botted because nobody sane would think this is like funny or right. Here's a bunch of women with all kinds of skin colors walking away with a bear. As a guy stands there very angry and disgruntled, saying, "No, I'm a nice guy." This is the narrative these people are spinning, and I quote retweeted this post saying, if posting like this will actually encourage dumb women to seek out bears in the woods, the Darwin Awards are about to get a lot funnier and get a new subcategory, because people are just that stupid online nowadays. And they will believe like anything idiots will tell you. So if this creates a wave of women going to the woods to meet friendly bears, then, you know, let them. Let them do that. Natural selection at work. And again, the Darwin Awards, which, if some of you do not know this is awards for people dying in the most unique of ways. So if so many people die by bear, and they're gonna be women too, the Darwin Awards will have to make a new category of deaths by bear. And it's gonna be both tragic and hilarious, because, you know, deep down, I don't want people to die just because they're stupid. But if they're stupid and they do decide to go through it, after so many warnings by other people not to do it, because, you know, bears are wild animals, and even if they aren't hungry, if you step into their territory, again, bears, very territorial, they will attack you. And they will not attack you just to chase you away. They will attack you to kill you. Because a bear is a huge motherfucker. Most bears are huge. Most species of bears are huge, and they will kill you. Just one swipe is enough for you to have your bones broken and your neck broken. The bear doesn't even have to bite your neck or anything. Just kind of slap you and you're dead. So, to all the women, do not do this. Do not be a statistic, a new statistic for people to analyze later in the future, trying to figure out why so many women died to bears in 2024, and so on. Insanity chat. Okay, we have 5 more minutes. What else interesting did I see online? Niji Sanji stuff. People saying about the new idol ES VTubers, especially the lolly one with the uncovered tummy. At first, I thought that the design of that VTuber was a bit too much. Like it was like overproduced, you know. There are some VTubers out there that add way too many details to their designs that kind of contrast in a very bad way. That create this like, what would you call it? Like, you do not know what to focus on in a over-designed VTuber because there's so many elements that just kind of distract you from other elements on the design. But looking closer at her, I think it's just on the border of that, so it's not that bad. So if you kind of zoom in on her, you can, you know, acknowledge some points of interest on her body and her face, so it's not all that bad. But if she's like among any other VTubers, her whole appearance is a little bit distracting in a bad way. I didn't watch her debut though, because in Spanish, and I don't know if there was some English in there. But I do have the ability to ask Spanish speakers if the VTuber, if her debut was good or not. And I will do this after the stream because I know a certain VTuber that did watch her stream and had some things to say about it. So I will get informed. But I am the design is slowly growing on me. I like it, especially in the far art department. So in case you haven't seen her, her name is Koa, and she's a new Idol ES VTuber, new generation of Spanish-speaking VTubers. I've seen some comments saying that she's not a native Spanish speaker. I do know she like speaks 3 languages: Japanese, English, and Spanish, of course. But some people have commented that her Spanish doesn't seem to be on the native level. So me not knowing Spanish, I'll have to agree for the time being, and I haven't even seen her stream, so I can't even judge that. But I hope she's interesting. We'll have to wait and see. A lot of idol VTubers kind of step into the loot tuber territory here and there. They can get very lewd. I don't know if she's gonna get that. Her design is already kind of lewd. I don't know what kind of stream she's gonna have, but I'm interested in seeing more. I don't even know what she sounds like. That's how out of it I am. I need to watch more VTubers, despite me watching already plenty enough VTubers to last a lifetime. But yeah, interesting stuff has been happening. Before I end the stream, one last thing. Stuff has actually been resolved between 2 VTubers, and that is between Shondo, who recently Fallen Shadow, who has commented on Camilla's apology to that very, very aggressive cancellation comments, essentially, that she made a year ago. Not 2 years ago, by the way. Don't be fooled into thinking that was that long ago. It was only a year ago that these comments were made. But yeah, they resolved that situation, at least among themselves. So that's a good thing. You rarely see that kind of thing, especially with, you know, two content creators online. Whether you believe, you know, Camila was sincere in her apology or not, that is up to you. I at least can acknowledge that holding yourself accountable is a good thing in a situation like this. I personally have this sort of thing with people that if you commit to a strike that's so egregious to the point where, you know, want the person gone, you want their livelihood to be gone, you want them to be deplatformed. I personally think that after you make comments like that, and even if you give an apology later on, at that point you are off my list of people I want to have dealings with. You're just kind of out there. Like I don't care about you anymore, and I certainly won't be your fan anymore or anything like that, or potential fan in the future. I know that you may have changed, possibly. I don't know what's in your mind. I can only take what you say at face value. But, you know, there have been some things that may make me think that certain parts of the apology might have not been so sincere as they have been. Saying that, you know, someone else told you that drama is good content and farm that shit. This feels like throwing someone else under the bus. But also, it's also vindicating in the sense that it really shows how VTubers, especially the ones that are trying to grow big, treat this whole thing. That they will cause drama for attention, which is, you know, pretty obvious with the things I covered online so far. And they will do their very best to go out of their way to cause other people trouble for that extra attention and potential viewers. I don't know how they get viewers from that, but apparently something that they do. That translates into some sort of increase in their own personal viewership. But, you know, when you act the way Camila did, you're pretty much, you know, at the very least, you're suspicious still. Her apology was not for me to accept, it was for Fallen Shadow to accept, and Fallen Shadow accepted it. So I have no stake in that. What I had a stake in is calling someone out that's extremely hypocritical and someone that wanted to ruin someone else's life, because what else is a comment other than, you know, saying that someone doesn't deserve a platform because of the way they present themselves without, you know, attacking anybody, just existing out there. So comments like that make me, you know, they make me very angry, because it goes from shit talking somebody to just wanting somebody to be ruined. And, you know, if you knew what Shondo's situation is in terms of, like, you know, personal life stuff, Shondo needs her VTuber career to thrive. So wanting to remove that from Shondo is essentially a step away from wanting to end her life. At least the way I think of it. That's the way I think of it. You might think differently, but these are my thoughts on that. So if you whether you think Camila was sincere in her apology or not, is up to you. I'm just, after you make serious accusations like that, even if you give an apology, to me you're just fucking out at that point. Because it shows me that you are capable of making comments like that. Very serious and aggressive comments that can be potentially life-ruining someone. So, yeah, these are my thoughts about all of that. And I'm at least glad something came out of it. If anything, at least someone held themselves accountable, and that almost never fucking happens in Twitter drama between content creators. Some people have no shame and just do not apologize and are continuously hypocritical. So they will just hide shit that they did in the past, trying to get away from all accountability. Others are just gonna continue to act vile and think that that makes them the bigger and better person because they attacked someone they think is deplorable themselves. There are VTubers out there that are like that, and I covered them before on my Twitter account. But you know, there are still other big VTubers out there that try to hide their actions. I covered one. Well, I wouldn't call Tessa or Reiken a big VTuber, but a big shitster, and Reiken attempts constantly to hide what she did in the past, never taking accountability for all of these actions, just fucking hiding away and thinking people won't remember, but I did. But there's one bigger that is thriving her career, and that's Elsox. Yeah, I'm just gonna name her. That's pretty much Elsox. A person that hid all of her fucking past with a completely different VTuber model and different name. And when she was caught being hypocritical about the lolly shit, she hid all of that away too, deleting posts. So, you know, I know I'm speaking vagaries at this point because there's certain people just don't know who was the person that inspired me to make my Twitter account in the first place, but that was part of her behavior that made me do that. So at one point I'll do a history. I'll do you a good one and do a history of the VTuber Cringe Twitter account, which is gonna involve the Elsox predominantly, to show you how much she tries to hide away from her past and hypocritical behavior. Because the hypocrisy is very clear. Because the bitch tried to, well, didn't try to. She outright played fucking Decopara for her stream while being fucking anti-lolly. And then when people started calling her out on that, when there was a little bit too much heat on that one, she deleted these posts to hide that she ever played Nekopara. Which is, again, funny to me, how she tries to run away from that one. She knows that there are things that she can be held accountable for, but she'd rather run the fuck away. I think she's that sort of coward that would never acknowledge that, but, you know, I may be wrong, who knows? But all of her past behavior makes me think that she's just a coward and doesn't want to compromise a career being a VTuber, fucking herself in front of the audience of thousands of people, collabing with fucking Project Melody of all people too, which is funny to me as well, since Melody is a lolicon, and apparently Sox hates or hated lolicons in the past, to the point of trying to get child protective services on Kudo, because that's about whom she started the whole fucking harassment campaign fucking 4 years ago at this point. Some people never fucking learn. But yeah, there's so many things to cover. They even talked about the H game Dona Dona, yeah. And there's lollies in Dona Dona. One of the main characters is a lolly in that one too. So yeah, fuck that. And Elsox is also invited as a guest to fucking Offkai, of all things. But then again, anyone can be a featured guest as Offkai. There's so many small VTubers that are like official guests of Offkai there. But yeah, I've been ranting for too long. I went 10 minutes over. I was planning to speak 5 minutes about this, but I went 10 minutes. So this is where we're gonna end on. Next stream, again, I'll try to do this Twitch stream 100% this time around, where we're gonna watch a video about the quote-unquote worst VTuber in the world and see how well this person did on this video, because the person that did this video previously did another video about VTubers, which was one of the worst VTuber videos I've seen. Completely missing the point of what VTubers are supposed to be, and construing them as something worse than in real life streamers, which is funny to me. Just completely not understanding that there's very little difference. But yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing next time. I'm gonna announce it on Twitter that there's gonna be a Twitch stream on which I can relax and actually watch videos, be a piece of shit React streamer. That's the dream. Just I'll have a new Fugi model. I'll do let me show you something. Is there an image I can use? Image, let's see. I'll yeah, let me try to save this. Okay. I'll make myself a new Fugi, and it's just gonna be this empty gamer chair. And I'm gonna be doing the Hassan meta. I'll just put this chair here instead of my avatar, and I'll just play the video and then just go AFK for 1 hour, and then just have chat do whatever chat does, because this is the Hassan fucking meta. It's just, that's how it's gonna look for the Twitch stream, because that's apparently what React streamers do. They don't even have to react to a video, they just have the chair react for them instead. I wouldn't be a very good React streamer because there's not many things that get me up and emotional. My feelings are usually very muted on some stuff, and I've seen so many things in my fucking life, in my fucking lifetime, that very few things I find exciting or unusual. So I can't be like that Star Wars guy that almost had an orgasm about a new movie trailer. I can't be that guy. That guy would be a good React fucking streamer if you ever wanted to get into streaming. I just can't be that fucking monkey, chat. I can't be that reactive to things that I just don't find exciting. So yeah, that's what we're doing next time. Fucking Twitch stream, finally. So look forward to that one, as I can have a little bit of rest for my voice, as we're gonna be watching a video that's over 1 hour long too. But yeah, let me read a little bit of what you guys said here, if there's any questions maybe, and then I'll just end it. Streamlabs TTS donos. I don't even have TTS. I do have Streamlabs. I just don't really advertise it. I think it's in the video description to all of my streams. I just don't pay that much attention to that. But I don't have fucking TTS. I think TTS for the most part is a mistake, unless you have good filters on it that, you know, filter out all of the shit that people will want to get you in trouble for. So slurs and the like, Hitler did nothing wrongs and stuff like that. That would have to be filtered by TTS. I don't know if there's any auto settings that help you with that. I imagine they are. if that's even if that's even you know, properly made. You know, I have to wait and see. Because generally, if people would abuse TTS for that, it's a mistake on part of the streamer if they allow for such a thing to happen. But yeah, for right now, thank you guys for coming. I almost started to forget about the Austrian fucking Schizo, and that's probably for the best. A person like that should either, you know, be ousted or just forgotten. Because I don't know if they thrive on this attention or... Because, as I said before I actually made this stream, whether this person gets attention or not is irrelevant. Because they still go on their fucking retarded tirades, despite the lack of attention. So, you're damned if you will, damned if you don't cover them. Winston, thank you for 10. I was wondering if you're a believer or chat, could pray for my cat, Sergey. He's really sick and has lost a lot of weight. We're expecting him to pass on soon, so we need a miracle. Well, I hope your cat, well, gets better if that's possible, but considering you said what you said, I'm not a believer, but I can at least hope for your cat to get better. Because I'm not gonna be thinking that this super chat is a joke. People normally wouldn't say. I mean, some do send super chats like this as jokes, but you seem sincere to me at least. So I do hope your cat gets better. That's the only thing I can hope for, despite not being a believer myself. And I hope chat can help put some faith in that too. But yeah, on that note, I hope your cat recovers if possible, and I hope you guys recover from this terrible stream about an Austrian Schizo. So you guys take care. Have a good evening, good morning, good midday, whatever. Stay off Twitter. Use Twitter for porn only, because that's the only thing it's good for. And stay hydrated. I'll be off, and I'll play you off with some good music. So you guys take care. Bye bye.